GKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. Each year, Famous Amos awards new black entrepreneurs with its Ingredients for Success Grand Prize. It's a way for the cookie maker to give back to the black community and support black founders. One of the latest Grand Prize winners is Liz Renee. She created a card game, Po Up, which celebrates the black college experience.
There's something about the nostalgia of college experiences, not only for all Americans, but specifically black Americans, because we were denied access to these institutions. So the level of pride that we carry, that once we make it to college, but then once we graduate, you can't tell us nothing.
A daughter of black immigrants, Renee is a proud first-generation college graduate. She came up with the game back in 2020 in the wake of George Floyd to create a way for people like her to experience and express black joy. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Lowe's knows how to help you save time and money, no matter the job. That's why we can deliver supplies to your job site as soon as same day, so you have more time to get the job done. Because when you need it fast, we've got you covered. Lowe's knows pros. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Total Wine and More has your holiday gifts. Bourbon for Dad, Cabernet for your sis, champagne for a co-worker, the world's greatest wines. With free curbside pickup, save money and time. Winter liqueurs like peppermint cream turn a festive cocktail into a holiday dream. Now that's a low price you'll shout out with glee when you shop Total Wine for them and for me.
Curbside pickup available and the lowest prices for over 30 years only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect that of the staff and management of Good Karma Brands, but are the sole responsibility of the host and guests of this particular show.
America may have many, many days, but they will be full of trouble. There will be no rest. There will be no tranquility in this country until the nation comes to terms with our problems.
Bringing you social and political commentary from his mouth to your ears, breaking down the issues which matter to you.
You're not put here to be a white man's footstool. You're put here to represent the very best in God's word.
Legendary civil rights icon, the Reverend Jesse Jackson in the studio. Reverend Jackson, how are you?
Sherwin, good morning on this chilly Milwaukee morning.
And I am pleased to have one of the founding members of the Black Panther Party, Chairman Bobby Seale. Mr. Chairman, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing just fine. Thank you.
From Mr. Eric Holder. Mr. Holder, so good to see you. How are you?
Well, I'm fine, man. How you been? It's been a long time. Haven't seen you for a while.
The Dr. Cornell West. Dr. West, how are you, sir?
My dear brother, you're so kind, you're so generous, so man, but I salute you and the work that you were doing there. Doing a magnificent job there in Wisconsin.
Stream live on 1017thetruth.com. Call in with your questions or comments. 833-212-1017. Join us on social media at 1017 The Truth. It may not be what you expect to hear, but I will definitely give you what you need to know. Are you ready for the truth?
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Sherwin Hughes.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Today is Monday, December 9th, 2024. Last week, I had a pretty detailed discussion about cryptocurrencies and meme coins and all of these other digital assets, and how a disproportionate number of African Americans are invested in the cryptocurrencies and the meme coins and the Doge coins and the Bitcoins and the Shiba Inus and the Ethereums. Oh, there's so many of them. Tons and tons of them. And we, as black people, are what I'm going to say over-leveraged in cryptocurrencies. And the way it was explained to the public, they are not connected to traditional financial institutions like banks. They are separate. They are digital currencies that exist in the vastness of cyberspace. And if they are not connected to traditional banks, that very well could be enticing for some African Americans, because there is a demonstrated history that banks have redlined and they have not approved mortgages. Even to this day, African American mortgage denial rates are higher than for any other racial group. So if there's a way in which we can invest our money that is free from a system that we know to be institutionally biased, well, then let's all jump in. I wanted to give some cautionary tales on us investing in cryptocurrency, thinking it is a way in which we can get rich quickly. It is not. And in trying to provide those cautionary tales, I got a little bit of pushback, which is good, because that gives me an opportunity to better explain my position. They got a number of high-profile African Americans. Coinbase is one of the crypto exchanges. There was another one, I think it was FTX, if I'm not mistaken, where Sam Bankman-Fried went to prison for 25 years because he was deceiving crypto investors. Crypto investors are particularly vulnerable, especially if they don't have investments in more, what I'm going to say, legitimate arenas like the stock market, like real estate, like treasury bills, even brokerage accounts. Savings accounts are much more traditional than some of these cryptocurrencies. So people see this incredible rise in cryptocurrency, like, oh, I'm going to get rich. And we know that the African American community is still to this day, financially vulnerable. In fact, in the conversation that I had on the social medias with an individual whose name I'm not going to mention, they were adamant in telling me that because of cryptocurrencies and the ability to invest in non-traditional ways, African Americans are, in fact, closing the wealth gap. Because I had posted an article that shows that we are nowhere near closing the wealth gap. In fact, there's just a small number of investors. It's something like 5,000 people own 60 or 70% of all of the Bitcoin, just as one example. When they decide to liquidate their positions and sell, the value of Bitcoin is going to drop to zero. And if African Americans believe that we can lower or reduce what is right now, okay, it stands at a $10 trillion wealth gap, $10 trillion. And then if we think that we can close that with fly-by-night cryptocurrencies, that just further proves that we are financially vulnerable. And if you have a community that is financially vulnerable, we are ripe to be duped. So LeBron James has got some kind of a deal with Coinbase where he is going to now, with one of his organizations, going to talk to children about investing in crypto. Scam. They're setting black folks up for failure, and they're using LeBron James to do it. And then Spike Lee is someone else who has been enlisted to talk about the quote-unquote benefits of cryptocurrencies to African-American audiences, basically taking advantage of black people. And it's happened so many times in our history with a subprime mortgage scam. There's just been a number of times where we have just been duped. And I believe that cryptocurrency is, in fact, another way in which they're trying to do that. But then I got to thinking, and you know that's dangerous when I get to thinking, why is the wealth gap between black people and white people so damn persistent? We have made monumental gains in every aspect of society. Politically, we have made gains. You probably have more African American people in elected government and in Congress than any other time before. So we have representation where the power is at in legislative and representative government. But the gaps aren't shrinking. We have probably doubled, if not more than that. No, more than that. Because I think after World War II, black men that had college degrees stood at somewhere like 1%. Now it's probably 23, 24%. That is a monumental explosion. And those are bachelor's degrees. If you add in other degrees, it's probably even higher than that. That is monumental progress. Yet these gaps still persist. Our incomes have gone up, albeit slower than other groups, but we have made some gains in both productivity and in income and our participation in the labor market, but still these gaps persist. And I wanted to challenge myself to figure out, why is the gap so big, and why, with all the other gains that we are making, why is this gap staying essentially fixed? And I also wanted to try and find some details. Maybe this individual is correct. Maybe we are, in fact, and I'm just not finding the right information as Black people, with all these other gains that we are making, maybe we are closing this racial wealth gap. Well, got some information here for you, and I want to present it in a way that makes sense, because too many people in the Black community are poor. But we keep telling the people that don't have anything, well, if you just keep organizing, and if you organize, and if you talk with your neighbors, and you work with your neighbors, and then you get out and vote, blah, 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 stuff is going to get fixed. Now I'm starting to realize that that might be a trap too. You cannot tell people that do not have any wealth to continue to organize as an entryway into gaining wealth. That's number one. Number two, it's a personal opinion, could be fact, I don't know. If I decide I want to prove it's fact, I'll do some research and get back to you. I don't think that you can become wealthy and or financially independent working for somebody else. Don't think so. Now, let me be clear now. You can make good money. You can have a big old bank account, bunch of money in it, but like you pay all your bills, you got a whole bunch of money left over. That's not your gateway, your entryway into home ownership or wealth or closing the wealth gap. You can work for other people and make good money. In fact, the number one thing that we encourage Black men to do is go work for somebody else in the trades. Go be a journeyman. Go be an apprentice. Go work for somebody else. And while those wages are good, especially considering the amount of school and training that you'll need, technical school and technical training compared to a 4-year degree. And a 4-year degree, depending upon what you get it in, depending upon, more importantly, what the economy is a crapshoot. We tell the Black men, oh, go be a hammer person with a hammer and get a torch and weld. Be a plumber and plumb. We tell the Black men to do that. While those wages are good, that is not going to close the wealth gap. So I'm going to present to you today a few details that I hope helps us get a better understanding of where we are financially, because we essentially have not moved. The African-American home ownership rate increased the most between like 1940 and 1960, which is weird. So we got to 38-ish% home ownership rate from like 20% in 1940 to 38, almost 40% in 1960, which is interesting because this is before we had fair housing legislation. We actually increased our home ownership rate when it was still completely legal to discriminate against giving a Black person a mortgage. I am confused by this. And since then, we have HUD. It's a whole federal department where Trump appointed his first and only Black, that is dedicated to combating, defying, and defeating discrimination in the lending market, the home buying market. HUD does all these things with these empowerment zones where if you invest money here in the poor Black neighborhood, the federal government will give you all of the tax credits and give you all of the things. Yet for some reason, we have never once in this country broken a 50% home ownership rate. You're not going to be wealthy nor financially independent if you do not own some real estate. I just got to put it out there because some people think that they can rent their way to being rich. There's some people, though, that are so rich because of the home they bought or the real estate they invested in. They're so rich that they can actually afford to rent because they have so much stored wealth in other hard assets. So I'm going to try and present this to y'all, why we have not closed these racial wealth gaps. In fact, it has widened. I want to talk about that. And also the race for the next Democratic National Committee chair is on. Jamie Harrison, the African-American Black man from the South Carolina, is currently the chair. He is not seeking re-election to that position. I'm wondering if he has been forced out or if he is deciding to embark on new endeavors. Those details are unclear. But here's what I think it is. He ran a U.S. Senate race a couple cycles ago against, what his name is, Lindsey Graham. Old Lindsey Graham, good old in the closet, ultra conservative Lindsey Graham. Jamie Harrison raised a bunch of money, put up a very decent fight against that entrenched old Southern belle, Lindsey Graham. Jamie Harrison lost. But because his race was so close and he raised such a decent amount of money, he was a shoo-in, especially as an African-American man who ran for the U.S. Senate in South Carolina. He would be a shoo-in to lead the Democrats into defeating Donald Trump again in 2024. A lot of times there is this blindness that exists amongst whiteness where they think that if they just find a black person, that if you get a black person, you put them in a position, you put them in a leadership position, then all the other blacks will come. There's this real shallow way of thinking, and I don't blame them because they don't really see us as individuals. They kind of see black folks as a monolith. Like, if we get a black DNC chair, then all the black people will vote for all of the Democrats. It's not quite that easy, but I think that was the fallacy. And so you get Jamie Harrison as the chair. The Democrats did not win on November 5th, 2024, and now he is either leaving by his own volition or they're kicking him out. But here's the problem that I have. The 1, 2, 3, 4 candidates who are now vying to be the next DNC chair are all middle-aged white dudes. I personally think it should be a black woman, but black women told us, and they told the rest of the world, and guess what? We're going to believe y'all when y'all said you're stepping back. You guys have done so much for everybody for so long. And black women, you guys are just not participating anymore because nobody listened to you. And you guys voting a 90+% for the Democrats, 90+% for Kamala Harris, 90+% for Joe Biden. And then lo and behold, Donald Trump gets reelected. So a lot of black women have said, we're done. Leave us alone. Let the world burn around us. I don't think that's a good idea because in positions where we need black women the most, they will no longer be considered because they essentially quit. Going to talk about that and everything else under the sun. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Coming with straight truth.
The majority of rich white families and rich white people got rich off of slavery and have that same money today in their families that they hand down. It's not that we don't want to work. We weren't able to start businesses back in the day. So when you are able to start a business and we can't, and your family business goes from generation to generation and ours doesn't, whose fault is that?
Listen to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
The Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, we're talking about up to $5 million, which for small business owners, we need that. That's like payroll, that's resources. So can you just let us know what is the program and why is this lending program so important to Old National Bank?
Years ago, our CEO, Jim Ryan, this program is his brainchild. He was working with Roland Shelton, who you know Denise out of Evansville, and they identified that African-American business owners, Hispanic business owners, Native American business owners, as well as women business owners had a difficult time in obtaining financing from the traditional credit partners. And so we went out, created a program, launched it last year in 2023. And so far last year, we have helped over 100 successful minority and women-owned businesses with about $25 million in loans. We've already started this year with almost $8 million in approvals, again, geared toward minority business owners and women business owners that normally had difficulties in obtaining traditional credit finance.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot to get the help you need. Don't waste it on the one offer you get from your insurance company. Make the one call to Gruber Law Offices. It's the only one you'll need to make. Call us today. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated is celebrating 35 years of serving all income and medically underserved populations of Milwaukee's metropolitan area. MHSI is a one-stop shop that provides medical, radiology, dental, pediatric, behavioral health, pharmacies with affordable medications, and more. Also, MHSI's new family medicine residency program, located at the Isaac Cobbs Heritage Health Center, has brought 28 family doctors to our area, which is significantly impacted by healthcare workforce shortages. Become a new patient today. To schedule an appointment, appointment, call 414-372-8080. Your health is their business.
Cousin Subs is spicing things up this fall with a new sub and a delicious shake. The Chipotle Cheesesteak Sub with either grilled-to-order chicken or steak features pepper jack cheese, sauteed green peppers and onions, jalapenos, and Chipotle ranch dressing. And that's not all. Pair your Chipotle cheesesteak with a delicious mint shake and your taste buds will fall in love. Order in-store, online, or via the mobile app. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'd like to welcome Dr. Ken Harris to the YouTube chat. Shout out to you, Dr. Ken. Love having you here. You'd think he'd be doing other things with his life instead of participating in the YouTube chat. Listen here now. Don't egg Dr. Ken on because he's a troll now. And I don't want to have to block my colleague from the YouTube chat. I don't want to have to put my colleague Dr. Ken in a quiet place because Lord knows I'll do it. I don't think you can get rich working for somebody else because you're negotiating your salary. Whatever your salary is, even if it's a high one, whoever you work for, and this doesn't matter, this holds universally true. Very few people are hired and paid a salary that causes the overall business, company, or the firm, the corporation to lose money. You cannot hire people and pay them a salary at a loss to the company, especially if it's a publicly traded company where you have to be responsible for shareholders. More often than not, companies, businesses, corporations, and firms are much more responsive to the needs of their shareholders than they are to their customers. Because they can find new customers. Their shareholders might be fixed for generations. If you negotiate your salary, let's say, what's a good salary? $250,000? Is that good? If somebody said they'll pay you $250,000, I could make $250,000 work, I think. That's a decent salary. Well, if they're agreeing to pay me $250,000, then they are likely making several $1 million off of whatever service or job I am performing. Now, if you know what to do with the $250,000 and you're married, that's the other thing where I think we lag behind as African Americans. A lot of times other races, when I get to there's one race that has more money, more wealth than even the white folks. We need to get like them. The white folks aren't even the ones we should be comparing ourselves to because there's a racial/ethnic group that's even outpacing the whites. Getting married and marrying someone who has equal or higher earning potential, because then when you combine those assets, let's say you got your job offer for $250,000 and your spouse also got a job offer for $250,000. You are now a $500,000 household. Now, if you know what to do with that $500,000, other than lifestyle stuff, because lifestyle stuff is going to take away a bunch of that income, then maybe eventually you can become wealthy. But economically speaking, everything that we are doing as Black people should be working to close the wealth gap. Everything that we do. You go to school so you can get a job, so you can make an amount of money so you can pay down your debt, so you have enough money to make that down payment on the house, or you go to school or you go to tech school to get in that trade so you can make more money so that you can potentially put money away, put money in the stock market or buy additional real estate, etc. Everything we should be doing should be helping to close that gap, but that's not often how we do things. Your debt to income ratio. I got a chart here that compares the African American debt to income ratio to other groups. And it's weird because it's 0.78. I'm not really sure what that means. If you have a point, this is the average for African Americans in Milwaukee County. So the city plus the other 18 municipalities. So your Greendales, your Greenfields, your South Milwaukee's, your Cudahy's, your Brown Deer's, your Glendales, your West Alice's, all over the places. Okay. On average, our debt to income is 0.78. And so once I realized how you read that number, I'm like, we're nowhere near. I don't care how much crypto y'all have. We're nowhere near closing the wealth gap. Debt to income ratio of 78% means that 78% of the money that you make, your income, your salary, your paycheck, goes to your debt and your bills. That's just your debt and your bills. So you have, essentially, this is an average for some black folks are even worse than this. So you have 22% of your salary for everything else. Everything else. Car repairs, food, clothes, all of the necessities that you need, your transportation costs. You can't live off of that, or not very comfortably, and you certainly aren't going to be closing the wealth gap. Also, if you're applying for a mortgage, you're not getting a mortgage if your debt to income ratio is 0.78. They're looking at, on the high end, it's got to be 0.35. So on average, African Americans in Milwaukee County would have to cut their debt to income ratio in half. So everything that we do should be focused on trying to build and acquire wealth. And I get it, the rush of a new way to invest your money. And then some people think, oh, Donald Trump is president now. We're going to get rich. How? Did you get rich when he was president the first time? So how are you going to get rich now? I'm curious. And maybe there's a way. Maybe there's a secret cabal of blacks that have it all figured out and they're going to get rich while Donald Trump is president. But if we didn't get rich when he was president the first time, how is it going to be different? If anything, it might go in reverse this go round. All right, what is this here? This one is from the Ballard Brief. The black and white home ownership gap in the United States is a difference in the percentage of black and white households that own their homes. The home ownership rate for black households is 43.4%, while the white home ownership rate is 72% for the whites. The housing gap developed due to discriminatory housing practices, such as redlining and subprime crises. As a result, black households faced higher barriers to home ownership and were unable to transfer the benefits of home ownership to future generations. While white households entered home ownership and provided assets for themselves and their posterity, black households fell further behind. The home ownership gap contributes to the larger black and white wealth gap. Wealth and financial security are important for higher education, financial crises, investments, and other situations that provide stability and opportunities. Several programs across the United States provide down payment assistance to home buyers, which helps black households overcome one of the largest barriers to home ownership. I also think, subjectively, I don't think black people want to buy houses in black neighborhoods. I'm really starting to think that. I really think so. Where the price of entry is cheapest. But here's the other thing. You might have higher levels of crime. You might have lower quality schools. So it's kind of a catch-22. So where you have the lowest cost of entry into becoming a homeowner, the additional amenities surrounding that home might be lackluster. And it is a commitment. Now, you don't have to stay in your first house forever, but you're going to have to be there for a couple few. You're going to have to be there for a little while now until you can have some kind of equity, assuming that the value of the property that you purchase in a majority black neighborhood is even going to go up. In 2019, the home ownership gap between the white and black population was larger than the gap in the 1960s before the Civil Rights Movement. Black home ownership today is still affected by historical practices of redlining that limited black households' access to home ownership loans. So you can't talk about building wealth if you don't own your house. Unless your salary is that insane. But if your salary is that much, you're going to buy a house because you're going to realize it is a complete and total waste of your money. In fact, you are going in reverse if you're paying rent. At the turn of the century, black home buyers were targeted for predatory loans that damaged home ownership during the Great Recession. I think they are targeting us with crypto. I really think so. So ask yourself this question. If it is this way for us to either close the wealth gap or make a bunch more money. How many people do you know that got rich off crypto? Because here's the thing about black folks. If we find a lick, if we find a way to come into some money, we're going to tell everybody. Not only are we going to tell everybody, we're going to start recruiting. I ain't seen it. Study I talked about last week got the average dollar amount that African Americans own in crypto. Now, remember, percentage-wise, more black folks are invested in crypto than white folks because white folks have other assets. They've got stocks, they've got bonds, they've got mutual funds, they've got certificates of deposit, and they've got tons and tons of real estate, some of which we rent from them. So there's a smaller percentage of them that's in crypto. With us, it's like a quarter of us that are in crypto. But here's the average dollar amount that an African American owns in cryptocurrency. Now, remember, some of us see this as a way to close the wealth gap and to become Elon Musk rich. The average African American owns $191 in crypto. That's basically the equivalent of one share of stock in Amazon. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes today is analyzing why the black-white wealth gap has not narrowed, even though we have made monumental gains in so many other parts of society. We're going to try and sort through this so we know how to better financially organize when the next election comes around, because we have got to prioritize closing this gap. And if policy can help, then policy is what we need to focus on. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at wipga.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Dr. Ken Harris with his truth.
An integrated strategy, including infrastructure, community involvement, education, enforcement, and legislative reforms. Yeah, we've kind of heard that before already. It can correct pretty much anything, right? They use it for everything except reckless driving in Milwaukee. I want you to consider this now. Expand the number of police officers in neighborhoods where reckless driving is happening, punish with fines, extended license suspensions, use speed and red light cameras. We need to inform people about the repercussions of reckless driving, and then we need to follow through with punishment. We need to continue to build speed bumps, roundabouts, narrow the lanes to help traffic slow down, and while you're at it, designate some space for bicycles and pedestrians only. We need to encourage the use of mobile apps to report reckless driving since you're on your phone anyway. And finally, promote local and state legislation that successfully combats irresponsible driving. Yeah, we've heard that before, but no. Just enforce the laws we already have on the books. And by combining this, Milwaukee drivers can enjoy a safe environment that lowers reckless driving, all the risks that come with it. Why? Well, this needs to be the Common Council and the city's primary focus. So perhaps next time there won't be that, dead on arrival traffic bill in Milwaukee Common Council or that traffic bill in state legislature. But then if you're driving, you might want to be careful. I mean, the next thing that's dead on arrival could be you.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I don't think you can become wealthy if you are offered and accepting a salary, because someone else is controlling your income. Now, it might be high income, but still your income is controlled by somebody else. I think one of the ways, I want to get into entrepreneurship in a second, that you can become more financially well off. I shouldn't say wealthy, because wealthy is a whole nother definition. Is when you, instead of accepting your salary or negotiating your salary, negotiating your income, you can become more financially independent when you can name your price. Let me give you an example. If I'm an entrepreneur, what am I selling? What do I let me see. Selling custom-made coffee cups, autographed by none other than Sherwin Hughes. It's a fine coffee cup. It is leak-proof. It is stainless steel. And it's very sleek in its design. It fits neatly in the palm of the hand. It even has a rubberized grip so you don't drop it, okay? I am going to sell this coffee cup. Now, there's cost of production now. It's made in China. This coffee cup made in China and shipped to the United States cost me 11 cents, especially when I buy in bulk. So this is an 11-cent coffee cup that I am going to sell. It's a part of the new Sherwin line of exquisite coffee drinkware. Cost me 11 cents. Designed, produced, and shipped. I'm going to sell this coffee cup for $45.99. When I name my price, I can build in my profit. Now, of course, can the market bear a $45.99 coffee cup? Absolutely, if I get a TikTok influencer to talk about it. When you name your price, let's say I have a restaurant. My restaurant specializes in the best vegan chicken wings you've ever had in your entire life. These vegan chicken wings are so good, they'll make a man ovulate. They're very good. They're exquisite. They're unique. They're delicious and flavorful, and I have 748 different sauce combinations. Now, you can go somewhere else and get your vegan chicken wings, but these are not my vegan chicken wings. I am charging $9.82 per vegan chicken wing. When you name your price, you have a much better shot of becoming profitable, and profitable to a level in which you can increase your financial independence rather than someone else giving you a salary. So entrepreneurship is very, very key. Now, what you sell and who your market is going to be, well, I suppose that remains to be seen. My opinion on this next thing I'm about to say: if you are a Black African-American person and you have a Black African-American owned business and you're very proud of that, it's a milestone for you. Maybe you're the first business owner in your family, and I think that that is wonderful. I think more of us need to be on the supply side of the economy instead of on the demand side. The supply side are the people that are the businesses that sell the things. The demand side are the consumers. We are very heavily on the demand side. Not enough of us are on the supply side. I'm going to call it a pitfall. And I say that because, have you realized how difficult it still is to talk about race and the impacts of race, structural and institutional racism, and just bias and all these other things with white folks? They just don't see it the way we do. I mean, they understand it. Like, they play dumb and they pretend like, oh, racism was a long time ago, blah, blah, blah. Barack Obama got elected, blah, blah, blah. Kamala Harris, blah, blah, blah. They know exactly what they're doing when they're denying and dismissing racism. And I say that because they created it. You think men don't understand sexism? Oh, we understand it very, very well. We understand as men sexism like all white people understand racism, yet for some reason they play dumb because that's advantageous for them to play dumb, because if they don't play dumb, then they got to admit some kind of responsibility. Saying you have a Black-owned business hurts you. I think it does. You are pigeonholing yourself, and you also have an expectation. Now, this is not all Black-owned businesses, But there's an expectation that all of your customers and all of your clients and all of your contracts are going to be with other black people because you are a black-owned business. First of all, the black community has less money. We are already committed. We already buy stuff. We're already loyal to other brands. Just because you start your endeavor, which is a big deal for you. It's a first for you. It's a big deal for your family. It doesn't mean a hill of beans to a black consumer that has his or her dollars already financially committed to another product or another service, probably better and much more established than yours. The other thing is, if white people do not want to participate in helping us profit, once you name yourself as a black-owned business, they put that on the avoid list. It is a catch-22. I have other evidence of why it's a catch-22. There was a restaurant. It is closed now. I was told about it by a friend of mine. And it was a black-owned restaurant. It's called the Melt House Bistro. I bring this story up all the time. When I found out it was black-owned, I wanted to tell everybody, like, hey, everybody, because this is back when I was in the mode of, if there's a black business, I want to tell everybody so black people go and spend their money there. That's a very shallow economic strategy. Here's a deeper economic strategy before I get back to the Melt House Bistro. If I start a business, I want everybody's money. In fact, I want the longest money. I want white people money. I want equity from their house money. I want money that they have set aside in their vacation accounts is more money than we have set aside for like medical emergency. I want money that doesn't end. I want money that has no stipulations on it whatsoever. Black money got stipulations on it because it's owed to somebody, or at least 78% in Milwaukee County of whatever income we make is owed to debtors and to bills that we have to pay. I want somebody who's got a debt to income ratio of 0. They have no bills. They have no debt. All the money they make, they can spend on whatever they want. Whatever business I need to be in, maybe it's cocaine. Maybe, I don't know what it is. I'm still searching for it. That's what you should want. The other thing with black-owned businesses, once word gets out, if your service is poor, pobrecito, it's not good for you. The internet will be very cruel to you. So the Melt House Bistro, it was on Kenilworth, a little side street on the east side. And they specialized in what they call gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches. Who the hell doesn't like a grilled cheese? If somebody told me then they didn't like grilled cheese sandwiches, how can you not? I would ask Trump to deport them. If somebody said, Sherwin, grilled cheese is yuck, I would call Trump immediately. Like, yeah, I got one for you. I got a hot one for you here, Trumpy. Deport this one. So they coined themselves as a gourmet grilled cheese shop. You can get a grilled cheese sandwich with a chicken breast, marinara sauce, and mozzarella cheese. Technically, it's a chicken parmesan, but they called it a gourmet Italian grilled cheese. You get my drift. Some had brisket, some had pulled pork, but it's a grilled cheese because it's like Texas-style toast, and you got a whole bunch of different choices of cheeses. It was a novelty thing, but it was a very popular restaurant. Every time I went, there was a wait. And I was proud it was a black-owned restaurant. I come to find out the owner did not want anyone to know that they were black-owned. And so when I would frequent this establishment, and I used to go quite a bit. This is back in like 2012, 2013, give or take, 2014. I'd see the black owner. He'd be in the back. And he was like behind this door. And the door had this like 5 by 5 inch glass window. And every so often I'd see his black face and he'd be looking. But his whole frontline staff was all white. All the people in the kitchen were all white. All the people that were busting the tables, he hired all white people. So you didn't have a single clue that it was a black-owned business. Well, something happened and word got out that it was, in fact, a black-owned business in a neighborhood, in an area where there's not a lot of African-American-owned businesses. And within 3 months of that information becoming public, they were closed. Now, I can't directly say it's because people found out it was a black-owned business they stopped frequenting that establishment, but I assure you it didn't help. The only time I ever saw demand from a larger, much more financially insulated, wealthier white community in Milwaukee, where there was a demand to shop at, to frequent, and to support black-owned businesses, was during the pandemic when we were reeling from the death of George Floyd. It's the only time I saw it. If you went on Amazon, Amazon would have a section. Here are suppliers that are African-American. If you went on the DoorDash, some of you love the DoorDash. They had, here are African-American owned black restaurants if you choose to support them. All of that stuff is gone. All of those things have disappeared, just like the Black Lives Matter signs have all disappeared as well. And the only real demand that I saw, like where people were asking for black-made products from a black-owned business, was Funky Fresh spring rolls. So many white folks wanted them Funky Fresh spring rolls. Shout out to Truman McGee. That's the dude right there. His spring rolls is in Outpost Natural Foods. That's how bad the white folks wanted his spring rolls. They're very good. But I'm sorry, Truman, they're damn expensive. They are. And you know what you're doing. But look, I respect that, Truman. Let me tell you why I respect that. Because you make money, you become profitable when you name your price instead of agreeing to your salary. There's a big difference. Take a break, come back. Let's take a look at black entrepreneurship in the state of Wisconsin, shall we? Because I think you can fare better when you name your price rather than agree to your salary. Because I'm trying to get y'all rich, but not trying to get y'all rich the cryptocurrency way, because that's a Ponzi scheme. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. On Wednesday night, we have a clash of Horizon League rivals as the Milwaukee Panthers travel to Green Bay to take on their conference rival, the UW Green Bay Phoenix.
Lob it up, and Darius Duffy with a dunk. An alley-oop will bring the crowd to their feet. Panthers push. Stillwell a leaner. Stillwell counted and one. Jermichael Stillwell.
Scott Warris has the coverage Wednesday starting at 5:30 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 6 o'clock.
What are some of the things that we need to really focus on to get our fair share of these opportunities, i.e. access to capital?
You know, it's very important to always think about building a strong business plan, understanding the financial parameters around what you're trying to accomplish, building great networks and great relationships so you can have partnerships in building out your dream, and then finding a good financial partner like Old National to help really orchestrate your vision of the organization. And then, as you know, DT, you wouldn't be where you're at because you're phenomenal, doing great work. And then you have to really have to go to work. If you have that dream, you have that vision, the business plan, the financial piece, then you have to really work at it and keep building.
Learn more about the Old National Bank Small Business Empowerment Loan by visiting oldnational.com/small business or contact a small business banker at Old National Bank.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
All insurance companies, they want to know where are your cars housed. Right. They want to know how far are you driving to get to and from work every day. Mm-hmm. They want to know all these different things for weather patterns. Are you living in northern Wisconsin or are you living down in Tornado Alley somewhere in Kentucky? These things make a difference as to how your insurance rates are formed. It needs you to be factual, and every single time somebody commits these different frauds, it all adds up and everybody ends up paying the price for it down the road.
Erie Insurance, providing the protection you need and the service you expect, all at a great price.
Don't settle for basic poor quality gas station car washes this winter. Surf to Tsunami Express Car Wash instead. Tsunami Express's washes offer long-lasting protection against harmful road salt and grime. Try Tsunami Express's brand new C2 with graphene wash for the glossiest, mirror-like shine. After your wash, enjoy Tsunami Express's powerful free vacuums, mat cleaners, and tire air. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Your first wash is free when you sign up online at tsunamiexpress.com.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Can I say slut on the radio, Rick? Will that get me banned? Or is there a limit to how many times I can say slut? I know I can't say the H word, but I don't know if I can say slut. You're not helping. So is that a yes or a no? Do I need to spell it? That's S-L-U-T.
Well, it doesn't matter. You already said it.
No, I'm just curious if that's a permissible word.
So then why you just didn't ask me off there? Why would you ask me on there?
I didn't think about it off air. Got a question for you, Rick. If, let's say you and I are racing. Maybe we're racing cars or we're on a foot race. And I'm in second place. And you pass me. What place are you in? So I'm in second place.
Repeat that question.
All right. If you and I are racing, and I am currently in second place, and then you pass me, what place are you in?
Will not be in second place?
Yeah. Glad you answered that right. Okay. A lot of people said they'd be in first place.
No, because you said you're in second place.
That's right.
If I pass you, that would make me in second place.
That's right. Very smart guy, Rick. All right. So there's a lady named Haley Welch. You may know her from being the Hawk Tua girl. This is a woman who basically exploded to stardom and real fame talking about spitting on penises. I'm not kidding you. This is not me being vulgar. Look it up. She did a street interview where she talked about a technique that she has in the bedroom where she does what I just said, okay? And to capitalize off of her popularity, she created a cryptocurrency. I'm not kidding you, called the Hawk coin, which is symbolic. I think it's an onomatopoeia when a word represents a sound effect. I think I have that word right. Is that an onomatopoeia? I think so. Called the Hawk coin, because Hawk Tua, that's her spitting on a penis, okay? She got famous for doing that, for saying that in a street interview that was random, all right? So then she goes in with other, I guess, market makers and other investors and creates a cryptocurrency called the Hawk coin, which you could buy and trade like Ethereum and Bitcoin and Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, etc. Okay, follow me. So this Hawk coin that is based on the success of the Hawk Tua girl, Haley Welch, skyrockets when it hits the market, okay? Something like $500 million in a matter of moments because she is popular and she has her own cryptocurrency based off of nothing, okay? Except her talking like a slut. And they based this, I'm telling you how much of a sham cryptocurrency is. Well, guess what? She sold her shares of this non-existent meme coin, this cryptocurrency, and left investors holding the bag. It is now worthless, but they say she profited in the tens of millions of dollars. And there's a whole bunch of investors that put a whole bunch of money into the Hawk coin, and they are left with nothing. And because cryptocurrency is unregulated, they have zero recourse to get any of their money back. Who's a famous black person? Name a famous black. Mike Tyson. Is he famous? No, I can do better than that. And alive, how can I not think? Barack Obama? No, y'all don't like him because you didn't like his tone. No, he's dead. Rick, name a famous black person that's not in jail or dead. Like really famous. And not like Kai Cenat, not somebody like that. Like a real household name, famous.
What's his name? The person who found BZ. What's his name?
Yeah, if we don't know, Bob Johnson ain't famous enough because they're not household. Michael Jordan?
Sure.
Okay, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan came out with a cryptocurrency called the Air Jordan coin. The Air coin. A bunch of African Americans would buy it because they know Michael Jordan. They like Michael Jordan. Y'all go crazy over buying his shoes. This man hasn't played basketball in 20 years, but his shoes are still going on sale. It's amazing how that works. He could just make up a cryptocurrency. Now, you got to do some mining and there's some other technical things you have to do. But essentially, anybody who is reasonably wealthy can create their own cryptocurrency based off of their name and based off of their celebrity, and people will buy it. But again, it's not tied to anything. It's not tied to a real investment. It's not tied to an actual company. It's not stock in an actual company. It is literally nothing. It is just speculation. People will buy it based on the name of the person that's behind it or the name of the currency itself. And it is a way in which the person who is creating the currency to get rich and to fleece everybody else. And there's no legal recourse when you make up one. Because basically you're saying, hey, I'm going to make up a Sherwin coin. You all buy it at your own risk. And a handful of you, like 7 or 8 of you, actually like me. And you might invest all of your money into the Sherwin coin because you think it's going to go up in value. And then I end up making my money off of the coin. I cash out and I'm the number one holder of the coin. And then I take all of your money and I laugh in your faces. That's essentially what crypto is. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation!
And all our juicy jammers out there.
Make certain that you tap into Jam with Juice each and every day so you can quench your thirst.
That is right. You already know you can sip on us every single day, like Benjamin said, from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. But that's not all, y'all.
Catch us exclusively on YouTube for our 6 to 7 show.
Yep, only on Thursdays.
Catch Jamming with Juice each and every day on 1017 The Truth.
Now sip on that.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Truth Nation, let us talk our ish for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like Vice President Kamala Harris.
Talk with your listeners to remind them of their power and the importance of voting. And the folks in Milwaukee turned out for me and Joe Biden in 2020. You showed what was possible.
U.S. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, are you a racist?
Absolutely not.
Is Donald Trump a racist?
Absolutely not. No.
And civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump.
Thank you all for speaking truth to power. That's the most important thing, because right now there are those in our community who would rather we just be quiet.
Right.
We have to disturb the peace now more than ever.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Associated Bank. Your money works here. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I'm trying to demystify the ever-widening racial wealth gap. And in all of the progress we have made, that gap seems to be persistent. I don't believe we can just explain away this racial wealth gap with racism. That is where it started. That is what created the advanced lead that whites have over African Americans. But we have made such dramatic progress in the last 100 years, 125 years. But for some reason, that gap, not only is it remaining persistent, it is growing. And the Biden administration did come out with some facts. In fact, I think you hear it in one of our promos here with my interview with Joe Biden I did, seems like ages ago. He talks about there is a decrease in the black-white wealth disparity. It's kind of fuzzy math. So we have ever so slightly increased our overall wealth. So let's say we increased our wealth 29%. Whites increase their wealth 23 or 24%. So less, okay, so we actually have a larger percentage of our wealth increase. Whites had maybe a slight decrease, not a decrease, but a smaller increase, but they are so far ahead that modest increase that we made no difference whatsoever. From 2019 through 2022, the most recent years in which the Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances collected household wealth data, the average gap in net worth between black and white households grew from $841,000 to $1.15 million, a 38% increase that even outpaced inflation. And then they say, why is this? A traditional view and how the racial wealth gap has developed and might be alleviated centers on human capital. It posits that black households have lower levels of educational attainment, which in turn generates lower earnings and lower savings that can lead to wealth. By this logic, to eliminate the wealth gap, one must first eliminate the earnings gap. However, the authors make clear the shortcomings of this narrative. Black households in the middle income quintile possess less than 1/3 of the wealth of white households in the same quintile. Nor does education provide a useful lever. Black households headed by someone with a college degree still have less wealth than households led by someone with a high school diploma or a GED. So maybe it's the very businesses that we work for. Or maybe it is our lack of entrepreneurship in areas that can be lucrative. And at this point, I don't even know what business you start. Everybody makes food. Everybody has a restaurant. Everybody has a food truck. Everybody makes the cheesecakes and makes pies and makes cookies and makes fat people food. We have that exhausted. I don't even know what I could recommend. If a young person said, Sherwin, and I said, what young person? What business should I consider? What endeavor should I aspire to create? What kind of entrepreneur should I be where I can be wealthy? I don't even know. I don't know anything that's legal. When I was more optimistic a few years ago, I would say consider getting into legal marijuana, but that's been corporatized too. The common person in legal marijuana states can't make any money. The price for entry into selling legal marijuana is so high, you have to either be already wealthy or an extension of a pharmaceutical firm that is giving you financial backing. Because they're ultimately going to control marijuana too. The financial or the pharmaceutical company. Because why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? All right, let's see here about businesses here. Hold on, everybody relax. I got it here somewhere. Where is this? It? No, that ain't it. What about here? Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. All right. Let's look at Milwaukee County. See if we can explain away the wealth gap here. Because we need to figure this out so that when the next round of elections, and they're gonna come at black people a lot differently, I think, in 2026 and beyond. They're gonna have to. Because there's a fallacy. I don't even know if I want to call it a stereotype. I need to think of a name for it. There's this assumption maybe that every single black man that voted for Trump. Not true. Like 2%. It's like a 2% increase. But that freaks people out so much because once black people become unpredictable politically, then I think that scares America because we need to be predictable as black people because if you can predict what we're going to do and how we're going to move, it's easy to marginalize us. If you know where we're going to go, if you know where we're headed, if you know our direction, if you know our sentiments, if you know anything about our community and our culture, if we are predictable, then it is easy for them to prepare for our next move up in society. And so when we show a sign of unpredictability, because the most predictable thing we could ever imagine we're African Americans voting in the highest numbers ever for a black woman. Because logic would just say, oh, a lot of black families are headed by black women. Black men, black women alike already see black women in leadership roles. Black women outpace us in education. They outpace us a lot of times in the job market. They have higher positions and have more professional status than us. Oh, this just makes a lot of sense. Well, didn't exactly work out that way. And then we saw these numbers, in some cases, 25 and 30% of black men under the age of 30, some of whom never voted before and may not have been counted in previous election statistics, decided that they want to go and vote for Donald Trump. Not because, in my opinion, they thought that anything would come to them. I think they wanted to rebel against an establishment of black people that haven't helped them. If you want to hurt black people, like a lot of them all at once, vote for a Republican. That is what the Republican Party does. Now, some of you may argue and say, no, Sherwin, the Republicans make policy. No, they don't. No, they don't. They don't have to. All the Republicans have to do is stop, stifle, deny, and oppose every single thing that the Democrats are doing. Even if it's a Democratic president that has the constitutional right and constitutional authority to select a member of the Supreme Court, Mitch McConnell, you stop them from making any kind of progress. Make sure that history can write nothing favorable about the Democrats, but never hold the Republicans that are responsible for the stifling of Democratic progress, never hold them responsible. It's just the failure of the Democrats, which in turn is the failure of people of color and minorities to politically organize. It really is genius. So all the Republicans have to do is make sure none of this woke, left-leaning, liberal nonsense psychobabble gets into our curriculum, gets into the schools. In fact, start telling people that they shouldn't go to four-year college. Yeah, it's too expensive. Go put them in the trades and make people do manual labor, because what we do know about people that go to four-year colleges, we don't necessarily know what their career paths are going to be, but statistically, someone with a four-year degree is going to pay $331,000 more in taxes than they will ever receive in benefits. Someone with a high school diploma, only $26,000 will they pay in taxes more than they receive in benefits. And then if you have someone with a GED or no diploma whatsoever, they are nothing but a drain on American society. So that's number one. People with college degrees do pay more money in taxes to take care of the people that don't. The other thing is, once you get a four-year college degree, you are statistically more likely to be a liberal or progressive and vote for Democrats. Sorry, let's see here. Median home value in Milwaukee County. $200,000 $6,000, $206,500. Nationally, $311,300. Okay. No, this isn't the data I want. What is this here? Oh, here we go. Average income for black households in Milwaukee County, $36,500. We are 1,239th out of 3,143 counties. The average income for African Americans nationwide is $50,900 a year. So by living in Milwaukee, you make $14,400 less per year being black in Milwaukee County as opposed to being black anywhere else in the country. All right. The black home ownership rate nationally, 43% of black African Americans own their homes nationwide average. In Milwaukee County, it is 27%. Well, there you go. There you go. So living here, you are 16% less likely to own your home and have equity in your home than if you lived anywhere else in the country. Black households in poverty. Nationally, 22% of black households live in poverty. Now, how Sherwin would look at this is Sherwin would say 78% of black households don't live in poverty. But for statistical purposes, 22% of African American families nationally on average live in the poverty. In Milwaukee County, 31%. So you are 9% more likely to be a black household in poverty living in Milwaukee County than living in any other county in the country. Oh, look at this. Here's a good statistic. As I'm going through these numbers, I'm trying to figure out exactly where is the heart of our wealth disparity and why it is not improving, even though we have made monumental gains all over the place. Now, this one actually shocked me. Health insurance coverage amongst black households. I didn't think that 90% of black people in this country had health insurance, but nationally, that's the average. That's good. 9 out of 10 black African-American people have health insurance. Thanks, Obama. I bet if there was no Obamacare, it wouldn't be 90%. It'd be 9%, probably. In Milwaukee County, 93% of African-Americans have health insurance. This is the only category where African Americans in Milwaukee County outpace any national average on 37 different measures. That is the only one. And I can't even figure that out because y'all hate Obamacare. 93% of African Americans in Milwaukee County have health insurance. Nationally, it is 90%. Bachelor's degree attainment for black individuals in Milwaukee County. 15%. And that includes all the suburbs. Nationally, 24% of African Americans have a bachelor's degree. So you are 9% less likely to have a bachelor's degree if you're black in Milwaukee County. And then here's the killer. The debt to income ratio, this is as of 2022, is 0.78, meaning of the income made by African Americans in Milwaukee County, 78% of the income of every check goes to pay bills and goes to pay debt, leaving just 22% of your, not pre-tax, but your net income to pay for everything else. And that's very hard to save money, put money away, down payment on a house, and take care of things like unexpected emergencies, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, here's a funny one. PPP dollar amount received by black businesses per black business owner. On average, African-American business owner, that's not even a lot of money, receive $438 of PPP. Remember the PPP loan where some of y'all got PPP loans for corporations that you just started on the internet, like not even real corporations, and I saw a whole bunch of black people partying in Arizona. Do y'all remember the PPP loan? Of course you do. Some of y'all got PPP loans. Nationally, African Americans received, per business owner now, on average, $438 in PPP loan money. In Milwaukee County, that number is $402. So black business owners in Milwaukee County got $36 less in PPP loans. Broadband internet access amongst black households nationally, 87% of us. That's interesting. Well, there's a number of rural black people that I bet don't have access to broadband. But our percentages of health insurance is actually higher than the number of us that have broadband, the fast internet. So nationally, 87% of African Americans have broadband internet. In Milwaukee County, it's 83%. What's the other 17% using? The dial-ups? I'm going to take a break, come back. I'll look at the number of banks. I'm also going to look at the number of black people unemployed in Milwaukee County versus the national average. And I also want to look at business ownership, black business ownership in the state of Wisconsin. Who are they? Where are they? How many of them there are? And what kind of money do they make? Talk about all that stuff next as we're trying to find the source of this racial wealth gap between the black peoples and the white peoples. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's your boy Tory Lowe, and I need to let you know the award-winning Tory Lowe Show can now be streamed live on YouTube every day from 1 to 4. I am now bringing all the smoke on YouTube every single weekday. I need you to go to YouTube right now and subscribe to 101.7 The Truth and check out the award-winning Tory Lowe Show live every afternoon. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube. Now that's powerful.
The Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, we're talking about up to $5 million, which for small business owners, we need that. That's like payroll, that's resources. So can you just let us know, what is the program and why is this lending program so important to Old National Bank?
Years ago, our CEO, Jim Ryan, this program is his brainchild. He was working with Roland Shelton, who you know, Denise, out of Evansville, and they identified that African-American business owners, Hispanic business owners, Native American business owners, as well as women business owners had a difficult time in obtaining financing from the traditional credit partners. And so we went out, created a program, launched it last year in 2023. And so far last year, we have helped over 100 successful minority and women-owned businesses with about $25 million in loans. We've already started this year with almost $8 million in approvals, again, geared toward minority business owners and women business owners that normally had difficulties in obtaining traditional credit finance.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Milwaukee Health Services Incorporated is celebrating 35 years of serving all income and medically underserved populations of Milwaukee's metropolitan area. MHSI is a one-stop shop that provides medical, radiology, dental, pediatric, behavioral health, pharmacies with affordable medications, and more. Also, MHSI's new family medicine residency program, located at the Isaac Cobbs Heritage Health Center, has brought 28 family doctors to our area, which is significantly impacted by healthcare workforce shortages. Become a new patient today. To schedule an appointment, call 414-372-8080. Your health is their business.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law Offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law Offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law Offices make our community a better place.
They are the best.
For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law Offices.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome back. All right, let's see. Maybe we're in the wrong business. Maybe we all should be DJs, make money like Rick does. If I was going to hire a DJ, say I was having an event, having a party, and I wanted a DJ, 3 hours. Give you $100. Is that a going rate? $100? That's enough. That's plenty of money. All you do is play music. I mean, hell, I got a Spotify account. In fact, I don't even know if I would give a DJ $100. Cause all they do now, and don't get offended, Rick, I see the DJs showing up with a computer. They just plug in their MacBook, and then they got the headphones on, and they're just playing music that I could play.
I gotta disagree with you.
You can disagree with me. Y'all just show up with a computer.
There's more to it than that. So everything is all about elevation, right?
Oh, this will be good. This feels philosophical. All right.
No, it's not philosophical. It just makes common sense.
All right.
Everything is about elevation. You got a cell phone, right?
Right here?
Exactly. Before cell phones was what? Landlines.
Landlines, yes.
So therefore, your phone does everything a Palm Pilot does, a computer does, and a house phone does.
Okay,
correct?
yes.
So in the 90s, when we start to elevate into cellular phones, what was the first cell phone? The big gray cell phone, right?
How are we talking about me giving a DJ $100 because I got a Spotify account?
We talking about elevation. So I'm trying to make a comparison here. So just because a DJ doesn't carry 50 to 100 records doesn't mean he's not a real DJ.
Fair enough.
And not only that, you're right. Some DJs do deserve $100 because they don't practice the proper technique of the art of DJing.
But if it's just someone who was hired to play in a backyard, an informal event, to spin songs that are popular, that people know the words to, you ain't got to mix and cut and scratch. Now, yes, obviously you can, but just to play music that's popular, $100 for 3 hours?
You don't need a DJ. Just put on a playlist and let it shuffle.
All right. How much would a DJ, what's the average in Milwaukee, a DJ doing a 3-hour set?
It varies. Some DJs charge $500, some DJs charge $1,000, some DJs charge $100. It all depends on who you are, how big your name is, how many people you can get to come out, and so on and so on. It all varies.
You mean that there are DJs in this city that will charge $1,000 for 180 minutes of playing music?
Absolutely. It's a proven fact. I've seen it.
Are you one of those?
Oh, no, I wish.
All right. Thank you, Rick.
I'm a very, I would think I'm very affordable, but not too affordable, like $100 or $200 now.
Or I tell you what, I know $100 is kind of low. You see that box of Kit Kat bars? I know. You see that box and there's still some Kit Kats in there. Remember on Friday you was asking me for some Kit Kats? Mm-hmm. Go ahead, dog. Help yourself.
So
take as many Kit Kats as you want.
That will not help you get a cheaper discount.
Why?
I need that pipe.
Whatever. Number of employer firms by total receipt amount by race and ethnicity. State, Wisconsin. Race or ethnicity, black. I don't want to laugh at this, but. So they have the number of legally recognized and registered businesses in the state of Wisconsin in which the majority owner of the businesses in the state of Wisconsin have African-American heritage, descent, whatever, okay? And they're looking at the gross receipts. So this is not profit. This is how much business in dollars these African-American firms did. I'm going to start at the low number. There are 10 black businesses in Wisconsin that did less than $5,000 in annual gross receipts. It's not a lot. There are 5 black businesses in the state of Wisconsin. Now, these are, what year is this? What year? Make sure I'm getting the right year. 2023. No, 2021. I apologize. Last year in which we have data. There are 10 black businesses in the state of Wisconsin, or there were, might be less, that had less than $5,000 in gross receipts. So they're not on their way to wealth generation. There are 5 black businesses in the state of Wisconsin that had gross receipts of, this is on an annual basis now, between $5,000 and $9,999. There are 0 black businesses with gross receipts between $10,000 and $24,999. There are 0 black businesses in the state of Wisconsin that had gross receipts between $25,000 and $49,999. There are 0 black businesses that had gross receipts between $50,000 and $99,999. $99,000. Yeah, I said it right. However, there are 333 black businesses in the state of Wisconsin that had gross receipts between $100,000 and $249,999. There are 0 black businesses that had gross receipts between $250,000 and $499,999. There are 0 black businesses that had gross receipts between $500,000 and $999,999. However, there are 170 black businesses that did $1 million or more. So either our businesses made $5,000 or less, or the majority of black businesses in Wisconsin do between $100,000 and $249,999. That's not bad. That's not bad, assuming they made some kind of profit. But there are 170 black businesses that made in gross receipts $1 million or more. I'm actually somewhat encouraged by that. Now let's change the race to white. Look at that chart jump. Good. Oh my God. Well, here's your racial wealth gap. Found it. There are 562 white-owned businesses that made between $5,000 and $9,999. There are 1,660 white-owned businesses in Wisconsin that made between $10,000 and $24,999. There are 3,306 white-owned businesses in Wisconsin that had gross receipts of $25,000 to $49,999. There are 6,202 white-owned businesses that had gross receipts between $50,000 and $99,999. There are 16,826 white-owned businesses in Wisconsin that had gross receipts between $100,000 to $249,999. There are 17,304 white-owned businesses in the state of Wisconsin that had gross receipts between $250,000 and $500,000. There are 14,639 white-owned businesses that had gross receipts between $500,000 and $1 million. Y'all ready for this one? Are you ready? I don't think y'all ready. In the state of Wisconsin, the number of white-owned businesses that had gross receipts of $1 million or more. So this goes up into the billions. Because isn't the Menards people? Menards is a billionaire family. That's a Wisconsin business. So is, I think, the Quickie Trip. So was the Culvers. White businesses that have gross receipts of at least $1 million. 28,229 white businesses that have gross receipts of $1 million or more. There are more white businesses in Wisconsin that have gross receipts of $1 million or more than there are black businesses in the entire state of Wisconsin. You sit on that for a while. I'm going to take a break and continue searching, but I think I found it. Your racial wealth gap is right here, contained in entrepreneurial endeavors. We're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Backed by popular demand, Shawnee's Exquisite Catering is once again taking your holiday gathering to the next level. And not only are they bringing back their traditional holiday meals, but they're adding something new and just as delicious: seafood dressing. And of course, they'll have their family meal deal. Book now for fresh, flavorful dishes that will make your holiday season unforgettable. Pickup and delivery is available as well, so all you have to do is enjoy your holiday. Contact Shawnee's Exquisite Catering at 414-216-3469. Happy holidays.
What if one day you went to your secret hiding place and instead of what you came for, you found a phone number, 1-800-662-HELP? What would you do? Would you stop and give it some thought? Before drugs take their toll on you and your family, know that there is help. You can quit. For help with drug use, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral, or go to samhsa.gov/knowtherisks.
More than 6 million kids in the U.S. have ADHD, and many aren't getting the support they need. At understood.org, we can help. Sometimes in class, the only thing your child can focus on are the thoughts racing through their head.
Why am I always falling behind? Why do I feel so alone? So different.
Your child is looking to you for answers. But as a parent, you probably have a lot of questions too. What should I do next? Where do I even start? At understood.org, we provide parents with the resources they need to help kids with ADHD thrive. Your child wants to thrive. Be the reason they do. Visit understood.org/thereason to get started.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Milasan says a doggy daycare. That would be a good business. But you got to like dogs, and you also have to be willing to get bit. Because people that own doggy daycares or vet clinics, they get bit. Here's the unfortunate thing about that. Let's say Sherwin decided to get adventurous and opened up a doggy daycare. If your dog bit me, I'd put it to sleep. So you drop your dog off. Okay, have a good day. All right, we'll see you after work. Your dog will be here when you're done with work at 5 o'clock. And then I bring the little bastard dog in. It's nipping, and it's nipping at my ankles. And it's little Chihuahua, because Chihuahuas are fierce. Y'all ever notice how the smaller the dog, the more fierce they are sometimes, because they're so small and people don't really think that small dogs are intimidating. So when they bite and they nip, people don't correct them because, like, oh, it's just a small dog. Let me tell you something. I'll kick a small dog's ass. I'm supposed to let a dog bite me? Y'all being real judgmental right now. Because if a person bit me, I'd kick their ass too. So what, I got to give sympathy to a dog? Don't be ridiculous. You guys seriously taking this whole dog pet thing too serious. Can I be clear? Stop bringing your dogs to the grocery store. Stop bringing your dogs everywhere. That's not a service dog. Stop saying that's a service dog because you put a damn vest, a Eddie Bauer vest on the dog and wrote the word service on it and spelled the word service wrong. Stop it. Stop bringing your dog to the Jimmy John's sandwich shop. I want to give me a Jimmy John's sub sandwich. I don't want to see a golden retriever laying on the floor. Don't do that. Why are you doing that? Who said that was okay? This didn't happen in the 20th century. In the 80s and the 90s, people weren't bringing their dogs everywhere they went. Saw a lady sit her damn dog in the child seat of a grocery cart. Because, you know, so if I started a doggy daycare and the dog bit me, don't you have to put a dog to sleep if it bites people? Because once it gets the taste of people blood, then it'll eat children. Am I off base with that? When a dog bites a person, you got to put it down. Don't get mad at me. Train your dog. Can't stand these people and their dog. Dog will be running at you full speed, foaming at the mouth, ferocious, about to tear a hole in your ass. And what does the owner of the dog say? He's just playing. So no, maybe I shouldn't start a doggy daycare, Millicent, because if the dog bites me, I got to defend myself. I got to stand my ground. Are you all legitimately trying to tell me that if a dog bites you, you just have to take the bite? What if it has rabies? What if it tries to kill you? You don't have the right to defend yourself? Okay. LT says, just my opinion. I've done no research, just old man knowledge. Well, this is going to be a personal story, I'm sure. Black families with money are less likely to give their children money to start their own business, give their children a down payment for a house as a wedding gift instead of a lavish wedding, less likely to demand their children go into the family business. We embrace terms like nepotism or Nelly baby. I think it's supposed to be Nepo baby as a negative instead of a tool to maintain generational wealth. Those who benefit from nepotism have to go out there and struggle. Those who benefit from nepotism never have to go out there and struggle like everybody else unless they fail at what is given to them. Yeah, maybe some kids are too irresponsible for their parents to just give them money to start a business. There's that too. But I don't know. I don't know what the details are. I know that wealth stays in families. So black families that have a history of being wealthy are doing something to transfer that wealth down from one generation to the next. I'm not sure what they're doing, but there's some kids, some of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Donald Trump, so a non-black example, Donald Trump is an example of someone who never should have inherited any money. He never should have. Total mistake. He was irresponsible. Always irresponsible. He lost most of that money. So sometimes you can't give your kids anything. If your kid loves crack, like a lot, you know what I mean? Like they just, you mention crack and their eyes light up. If that's, God bless your child. I hope your child overcomes their lust for crack. And you might be very wealthy. And you have a lot of money to hand down to your child. But you can't, or you're reluctant to do so, because if you give your child, you transfer your wealth to your child that just has a doting affection for crack in all shapes and sizes of the rock. Some big rocks, small rocks, little boulders, little pebbles they love. They don't discriminate when it comes to the size of the crack rock, okay? They love it so much. You can't give your child all the money that you worked for your whole life, because then your child will be like, Mama, Daddy, guess what I did with all the wealth you gave me? And they're going to say, uh-oh. Look, come outside. And they built a crack castle. It's a house. It looks like a snow fort, but instead of snowballs and snow, it's crack. And then the parents were like, oh my gosh, we gave you all of our wealth that we worked so hard to achieve for you to build a crack chalet. So that's one of the reasons why you can't do that. Dion, am I seeing this correctly? Do you have two dogs in a shopping cart where a child is supposed to sit? Is that Walmart? That's fine at Walmart. That's acceptable Walmart behavior, but come on, Dion. Seriously. Tell you what, if you ever see a sign called Sherwin's Doggy Daycare, bring your dog to Sherwin's Doggy Daycare, but just your dog needs to be trained and needs to be socialized around other dogs. Let's talk to someone who has spent many, many years training and socializing dogs, but hasn't trained and socialized himself. Bob, you're on 101.7 The Truth.
Hello, Sherwin. I'd rather see people buy some, invest in their own business, and going into stock and having some company like, Fox News, they're giving money to help by, But I got to ask you a question. This is an important question.
I guarantee it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, listen. This is a real good question.
Hold on, Bob. Hold on, wait. Before you ask it.
Yeah.
Hey, Truth Nation, $50 says this is not an important question. Okay, go ahead.
You're wrong. So this is a good question. You're going to lose that bet. Listen. Now, the American people, they buy an inoculation for polio, strep throat, measles, the mumps. The American people make planes and unbelievable cars and spaceships. I mean, et cetera. I mean, the technology and computers. Why in the world would the American people vote for a person they can drink a beer with, Bush, and then turn around and vote for a person that's cruel and mean and dumb? With all the technology and smart people in this world, how can they do that shit? Can you answer that question? Because it baffles you. Now you lost your bet, because that is a good question. As smart as the American people are, you want to vote for a man you can drink a beer with that's dumb as rocks to lead the free world? The Army, the Navy, the Marines, and the great, if not the best, the top in the world. You want to have a man you can drink a beer with? Good question.
No, it's not. Give me like $50.
Yes, it is. I got to talk to you later, because it's still back.
Do you realistically think that 130, 140 million people that may have voted in either the 2000 or 2004 election went to the polls and simply just selected the person they'd rather drink a beer with? That was one person's anecdote that basically said George W. Bush was kind of common, he was kind of simple, he was relatable. You don't really think that that's the reason why George Bush got elected in 2000, which he technically lost, and why he got reelected in 2004, because people want to drink a beer with him. And the other thing is, I think you're giving the American people far too much credit. American people are not that smart. There are some smart people in America, but as a whole and as a collective, the reasons why we go to the polls are very simple and very elementary and not very complicated at all. Bob, stop giving the American people all this credit. There are smart people in America, but as a nation, not that smart. Not smart. Make bad decisions. We're still racist. We're still sexist. We're still homophobic. We're still intensely ignorant. Most Americans can't even find countries on a map in which we have got American troops stationed. We're not that smart. We're not smart. Now, there are some smart people, but Americans as a whole, not smart.
We don't get polio. You don't get polio. You don't get strep throat.
Yeah.
You can stop getting measles.
Yes, people still get, and the measles are coming back. In fact, all those things you noticed are all coming back. And we're not the only country to build a damn spaceship, man. I wish they built a spaceship for you.
And then you vote for a man you can drink a beer with. And then I hope Americans, are they being entertained? Oh my goodness. Are you being entertained? Isn't it wonderful? Oh, come on. Look at the people he's picked. Are you being entertained, American people? I'll talk to you later. I'm still baffled. Because, I hope they're being entertained. Oh, still. Talk to you, sir.
All right, Bob. Earlier, I was talking about a wealthy family not wanting to give their child that has an affinity for crack all of their wealth because the child would build a crack house, a crack shack, a house, a chalet made of crack. I think Bob, has anybody ever seen Bob's house? Bob might live in a crack chalet. Probably has a fountain out front. The landscape very nice. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 on your FM dial in Milwaukee. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. On Wednesday night, we have a clash of Horizon League rivals as the Milwaukee Panthers travel to Green Bay to take on their conference rival, the UW Green Bay Phoenix.
Lob it up, and Darius Duffy with a dunk. An alley-oop will bring the crowd to their feet. Panthers push. Stillwell a leaner. Stillwell counted and one. Jermichael Stillwell.
Scott Warris has the coverage Wednesday starting at 5:30 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 6 o'clock.
Sometimes it takes a breakdown to have a breakthrough. And at Vin Baker Recovery, they understand the power of having real support while you're on that journey to recovery. This is why at Vin Baker Recovery, they customize treatment plans specific for your needs. Vin Baker Recovery provides our community and anyone looking for help with access to mental health care and recovery support, helping you treat addiction. So whether opioid abuse, alcohol, or other controlled substances, Vin Baker Recovery helps you get back to the lifestyle that you know will be the best option for your future. Vin Baker Recovery offers licensed counseling and therapy services to curb the mental health problems that have been impacting our communities for far too long. They provide services like medication-assisted treatment, outpatient care, and hub and spoke services with peer support. So what are you waiting for? Vin Baker Recovery accepts walk-ins and appointments. It's just that easy. Just visit VinBakerRecovery.com. That's VinBakerRecovery.com. They're here to help you win the day.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
In our community, you will find a Center for Food Security. You'll discover a Center for Behavioral Health Support, a proven center for home care, a successful center for employment, a center for trauma recovery, and more. We are Centers for Independence. Find out how you can support Centers for Independence's work and mission at cfihope.org/independence.
Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all.
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 Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I search to find the love within.
I came back to let you know. I could be a singer. This radio thing doesn't work out. I don't know, Rick. I think my voice is silky. It's actually more on the sensual side. No, this is just what I've been told. And I appreciate those of you that love my very smooth, buttery even. You can put my voice on popcorn. My voice is like, how would I describe it? My voice is like lube for your soul hole. You know what I mean? Because it's very smooth. Wealth gaps across racial and ethnic groups. The increase in U.S. wealth of U.S. households from 2019 through 2021 was spread widely across racial and ethnic groups. Okay, this might be some good news. Despite improved fortunes, Black, Hispanic, and multiracial households trailed white and Asian households by large margins from the following perspectives, both before and after the pandemic. So the pandemic did do something to the accumulation of wealth for all racial groups, and this Pew Research Center study looks at that. All right. Asian households overall had more wealth than other households in the 2 years since the start of the pandemic. In 2021, Asian households had a median net worth of $320,900 compared with $250,400 for white households. The median net worth of Hispanic households, whoa, that's way down there, $48,700, and Black households, $27,100. So I don't know if you can look at just racial discrimination or Asian populations arrived in this country post legislation designed to stop racial discrimination in lending and banking and real estate. That's one part of it. Or Asian families are pre-selected, hand-selected based on their wealth and their income and their ability to invest in the United States before they are granted visas and or citizenship. Or Asian families had money in Asia and brought that wealth to the United States. Or they acquired their wealth here in America. But the fact that Asian families have, on average, $70,500 per household more wealth than white folks needs to be studied as well, where we are on the bottom. So Asian families have 90% more wealth than the average Black family. Asia includes the diaspora of several billion people. So you have, are Middle Eastern people considered Asian? Well, no, I guess they'd be considered Middle Eastern. So Asia is, you got your Laos and your Vietnam, the North Vietnam, the South Vietnam, your Mongolia, your China, your Japan. What else do we have? You got the Philippines. You got India. India is 1 billion people. You got Nepal. You got Bangladesh. You got all of the countries in Asia. I've noticed, trying not to be racist here, Asian families are purchasing franchises. Have you gone to the Dairy Queen on, I don't know, about 66th and North Avenue? The whole family, all of them, very Indian. The person that takes your order, please don't think that I'm being at all prejudicial. I got to give that disclaimer. I'm just telling you what I observe. They have someone that works the drive-through window at the Dairy Queen on, I don't know, about 66th and the North Avenues in Wauwatosa that doesn't even speak English. They don't even speak English. There's a Subway restaurant on about the 91st and Burleigh. It's another Indian family. So is there something to that? If they come over here and they buy the franchises, and how much money can you even make off of a franchise? Maybe that's the key. Maybe that is what African Americans have been missing. This is what we need to close or at least narrow the racial wealth gap. You guys remember a sandwich shop called Quiznos? Remember Quiznos? There used to be a Quiznos right downtown. The Quiznos.
Whatever happened to Quiznos?
I don't know, but they were here, then they were gone. Every Quiznos I ever went to in my entire life were Indian people. And it wasn't just Indian workers. You could tell they owned the franchise.
Speaking of Quiznos, you know your place, your favorite place is coming back out of retirement.
Chi-Chi's.
Chi-Chi's.
Yeah, I love
over
Chi-Chi's.
20 years gone, coming back.
I love Chi-Chi's.
Yeah.
There used to be a Chi-Chi's at Northridge near where, well, the Walmart's not there anymore either. But that is where we would go get our Mexican food. That Chi-Chi's probably closed. That might have been the only Chi-Chi's I ever went to. Good God, it probably closed in the early 2000s. Northridge, that whole area all kind of fell in like a 6 or 7 year window. But I'd imagine that Chi-Chi's went bye-bye probably in the early 2000s. I don't know if it lasted much longer than Northridge because Northridge closed in 2002. They finally shut their doors. So I have not had Chi-Chi's food. It's safe to say in probably a quarter century, but I can close my eyes and still remember how everything tastes. Everything from the fried ice cream to the Spanish rice to their salsa to their beef enchiladas and the chicken enchiladas. It was a very unique flavor the Chi-Chi's restaurants had, and I'm glad they're coming back. I'll be the first one to be at the grand opening. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for Hour 3.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
1017 The Truth and Associated Bank have teamed up for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, we'll be giving away $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising for 3 months to 5 Black businesses. To sign up for your business's chance to win $6,000 of commercial campaign marketing on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure on the truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC.
Coming with straight truth.
Where does that blame and where does that frustration start to turn towards? And again, we feel like, or I do, a lot of the narratives that are out there, just even down to what Black men want to do or who they marry once they are successful, a lot of them are lies that have been repeated over and over and over.
For a long time.
Yes.
Listen to Truth Be Told with Telly weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Truth Nation, let us take a second to brag for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like President Joe Biden.
Black child poverty was cut in half in 2021. We built Black wealth, 15 million jobs nationwide, more than 2.5 million for Black Americans. Black wealth is up 60% since the pandemic.
Former President Donald Trump's son, Eric Trump.
Guys, we almost had a former president and very likely future president assassinated on live TV. Like, you know what that would have done for this country? You know what that would have made our country look like? We would look like a banana republic.
And Brewers all-star and former National League MVP Christian Yelich.
Listen, you already know.
Yeah, we got we were just in LA, so we heard our fair share of Kendrick out there in LA. Dodger Stadium has one of the best sound systems in baseball too.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app, listening live on 1017thetruth.com, and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
One smile is great, but one smile in a community of smiles is so much better. A smile has a secret power that most people don't know about. A smile multiplies. It spreads from one person to the next, stretching across entire groups of people. Smile Train knows this and is proud to be creating a wave of smiles across the cleft lip and palate community in over 70 countries. patients, doctors, advocates, fundraisers. Collectively, our smiles are a celebration of the transformed lives of over 1.5 million children. Learn how Smile Train is helping the cleft lip and palate community at smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
You are listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. So we took a pretty deep dive into the wealth disparities that exist. And while African Americans have made monumental gains, like no one could argue with the advancements that we have made in every measurable category, except for wealth disparity in home ownership. Our largest growth of home ownership was between 1940 and 1960, where we went from 20% to 38%. The highest we have ever reached was, and Bob called in talking about George W. Bush, was during the Bush administration, but I think you guys may recall what happened there. They changed the rules and got rid of a lot of the regulations that govern mortgage lending. You could just fill out an application and write down your income, and a bank would throw you money. And per the Bush administration, with those regulations being toppled, they encouraged banks, just give the money away. I don't know what their ultimate goal was, but what they did do, and they touted this, we increased African American home ownership, and they did. But a lot of those adjustable rate mortgages and a lot of those other predatory lending practices led to the biggest financial crisis, quite honestly, in American history as it relates to home foreclosures, and they hit our community particularly hard. But that could have been an entryway into wealth, but we are still lagging behind in this category. And then, of course, there's cryptocurrency and the one example, and this is the example that I want people to take away from this. The Hawk Tuah girl, based on her internet stardom, comes up with a cryptocurrency. The value immediately balloons to $500 million, and within moments, it lost 95% of its value. The only people that got paid were her and whoever her co-investors were, and nothing's going to happen to her. Now, they're saying that they're going to investigate her, but cryptocurrency is unregulated. It's at your own risk, basically. So all the money that you lose is gone forever. At least if you put your money in a bank or a traditional brokerage account, I would recommend Vanguard. Your money is insured up to $250,000 and in some cases more. The best way to acquire wealth, or at least be financially stable, it takes discipline and time and patience and the ability, and this is tough, the ability to deny yourself instant gratification. It has taken me a long time to achieve that level of discipline. Sometimes the old Sherwin creeps back in. The old Sherwin used to be out here in these streets. The old Sherwin used to kick it. The old Sherwin was at the club, VIP bottle service, back when it was exclusive. Now they come out with sparklers and they make a big show of it. That's poor people behavior. I remember back in the day when you got bottle service, it was quiet. It was just they snuck it to you. Oh, hello, Mr. Hughes, we have your here you go. Well, this do, Mr. Hughes, this bottle of champagne, yes. This Dom Perignon, okay, Mr. Hughes. And it was quiet. Now they do a drum roll and they got sparklers and you guys see this stuff? It's just. But every now and again, when I got to be disciplined though, the old Sherwin, he wants to surface. Because sometimes I'll be sitting home on a Saturday night. maybe even a nice Saturday night, a warm summer Saturday night, and I'm sitting there not doing nothing, and then I think to myself, you know what? I could go out right now. I could take myself out to the fanciest dinner and bring several of my friends, and then we can go to the nightclub and we can get all the bottle service every night. We are all night long. We could drink top shelf all night. I got the money to do that. You know what? And then sometimes I start making motions toward actually going out and reliving the old Sherwin, the Sherwin of my youth. I might get in the shower. Yeah, buddy, I'm going out tonight. I'm getting dressed. I'm putting on something fly. Sometimes I wear a sport coat and a button-down shirt with no tie underneath because that's how I do it. That's right. I'm getting ready to kick it. I got money. I got time on my hands. Let me call up some of my friends, and we're going to go to the restaurant, and we're going to go to the club. We're going to get bottle service. We're going to drink top shelf all night because I want to relive my Sherwin days of yesteryear when I was financially irresponsible. Man, did I kick it. I should write a book on teaching people how to kick it. Y'all don't know how to kick it. You don't. I'm very disappointed in the young people nowadays. They don't know how to do it right. Y'all don't know how to go out right. You don't do it the correct way. I'll show you. So I'm getting ready to go. Oh, yes. But then reality hits me. And I think to myself, well, I probably could put another investment in my stock portfolio, or maybe I can put some of this money into the brokerage. Do I really need to go out, and do I really need to drink top shelf? Do I really need to call all of my friends and ask them to join me at the fancy finest restaurant in the city? And here's what usually happens, because the old Sherwin is easily subdued by the new, more mature, more disciplined, more financially stable Sherwin. So I get up, I get in the shower, I get dressed, and then at the last minute, I'm like, you know what? I do need to get a couple of items from the grocery store, and I end up going to Woodman's. That's what happens. It takes discipline, and it's tough. Probably the most difficult thing, I would say, financial discipline, toughest things in my life. Learning to be disciplined financially, having a pocket full of money when all of your bills are paid and just wanting to go blow it. Just want to go to the strip club and make it not rain, but like a decent mist, like a drizzle. You know what I mean? Zach, remember? Oh, I should tell on you, Zach. But see, Zach, you're young. That's what you're supposed to do. Zach was like, I'll be right back. I ain't seen Zach for 30 minutes. Zach finally surfaces and had 2 bricks of money. I still got the picture. Like he's holding Kit Kats, like he was holding those bricks of money. But that's what you're supposed to do when you're young. That's discipline, financial discipline, completing college, getting my college degree. That's up there too with the hardest things I've ever done. Like the hardest things I've ever done. Third would be quitting smoking. Quitting smoking cigarettes, as ridiculous as this sounds, was probably as hard or harder than getting a 4-year college degree. And like once I got into like my 300 and 400 level classes and you had to write 25 and 30 page papers once a week, college sucked. Like when it got real, because in the beginning it's fun because you take elective classes and yay, it's fun. But once you start getting a little bit more specific and focused in your major, I didn't like it. It really put a damper on my social life because I had to study a lot and to read a lot. I got so some of my books I didn't sell because, when you go to college, those of you that went to a university or even a 2-year school, you purchase your books and then at the end of the semester, you have the option to sell the books back to the bookstore at a rip-off rate, right? You might have paid $150, $200 for a textbook. They'll give you $25 for the textbook at the end of the semester. So a lot of my books I just kept. I got a whole bookshelf. Like my bookshelf in my house is filled with books that I didn't sell back to the college bookstore. So I can see all the stuff I read. I have not read that much since then. Financial discipline, graduating from college, quitting smoking. And then there was one other thing that's been just as hard. So the 4 things that were the most difficult for me. But financial discipline is up there. Because nothing can make you feel better than spending a pocket full of money. There's nothing like going to the mall and tearing it down. There's just no feeling like that. Now, that sounds like addict behavior, but, oh, my God, tax time. Back when I used to get a tax return, you couldn't tell me nothing. I'd go to H&R Block, and they let you leave with a check sometimes. This is, good God, the early 2000s, late 90s. Sometime after that, I ain't see a tax return check. I remember one year, I got a tax return fairly recently. They messed up. They gave me a tax return. It was weird because they sent an actual check in the mail. But then I got a bill. So I think they sent me like $900, which I wasn't expecting. And y'all know how it is when you get an unexpected windfall of cash. That is when I allow myself to lose my financial discipline. If I get an amount of money that I wasn't expecting, that money is as good as gone. So they sent me a $900 check, which had my name on it. And I went and I cashed it. And I swear, a month later, I got a bill from the IRS that I owed them $1,600. So there you go. Financial discipline, hardest thing in my adult life that I had to deal with. Graduating from college, that was tough. That was not easy. Quitting smoking, because I was a smoker. I smoked cigarettes. I smoked when I got up. I smoked after I ate. I smoked when I drank my coffee. If I had a job, I went outside and smoked. 40 degrees below zero, don't matter. I'm finna go have me a square. I'm almost out of cigarettes. A panic ensues when you're almost out of cigarettes. You got to go to the store and get a cigarette. But I never would buy a carton of cigarettes because, I don't smoke that much. I would never go through a carton. That was stupid, too, because if you're going to smoke a pack a day, might as well get yourself a carton. Back when a carton of Newports was $25. I bet a carton of cigarettes is over $100 now, isn't it? I'm curious. I remember when cigarettes were less than $2 a pack, and I remember saying, man, when they get up to $2, I'm going to quit. They went up to $2. Bill Clinton really taxed cigarettes. He tried to tax cigarettes out of existence. Didn't matter. He called it a sin tax. Let me see. Carton of Newport. Newport 100. I'll call them Newport 1000s because they're longer than a 100. Let me see how much. I know you effing lying to me. I know y'all is not paying $121 for a carton of squares. That's insane. No, I can't be reading this right. $123.28 for 10 packs of cigarettes. That's crazy. A box of Newport Kings is $12.49 from JP Liquor. What? Y'all need to stop smoke. I can't believe this. So you figure you can smoke 10 packs in a week. Hell, I did. That is like $500 a month on something that will give you cancer and or emphysema or several strokes and several heart attacks. In fact, our Bob that calls here and says ridiculous stuff, he had his stroke because he used to smoke them squares. Now he only got one good arm. And if he keep calling me talking mess, he going to have no good arms. I don't know how he going to play his little raggedy saxophone, little 3 notes. He'll be playing on the saxophone. 100 and... Wait, what is this here? Newport 100s box, 20 cigarettes, 10 packs. It should cost about $51 for a carton, which is 10 packs of 200 cigarettes. What does this mean? Oh, Sam's Club. Let me see. I didn't know y'all were paying that much for cigarettes. I know that they were always more expensive in Chicago because I used to go to Chicago a lot when I was younger. I don't know why. Milwaukee, if you ask me, offers more. Well, Milwaukee now offers more than Chicago, more conveniently located. Now, we don't have the public transportation options that Chicago has, but I would much rather stay in Milwaukee. Milwaukee, I don't know if y'all know, this city is up and coming. Milwaukee right now reminds me of Minneapolis in the mid-'90s where you just had nightlife and restaurants. The fourth floor of the Mall of America. I don't know what it is now because I haven't been to the Mall of America since 2012. The fourth floor, the very top floor of the Mall of America was all nightclubs and sports bars. And back in the day, you only had to be 18 years old to get into any bar, to any nightclub in Minneapolis. Stupidest rule ever. Stupid. Because you've got grown folks. Because let me be clear. If you have to be 18 to get in, there are people that are in those bars and those restaurants that are 16 and 17 years old. Because getting an ID to say you're 18 is a lot different than getting an ID saying that you were 21. Some of these kids would use their school IDs. Oh, I'm a senior. And they would just let them in. Because once the young person is in the bar, the nightclub, the environment at 18 or 17 or 16, whatever, then getting a drink is easy. Now, they used to make you put on those wristbands. I remember the wristband. You put the wristband on. If you're under 21, you got to put on a wristband. This wristband means, and they'll tell you, well, I'm going to give you this wristband. Don't you take it off. Because the wristband is the only way that we can tell you're under 21. So if you take your wristband off, we'll have no idea. And me, I've looked 30 since I was 15. So I don't know what it was about when I would order a drink underage in a Minneapolis bar, nightclub, or sports bar. I'd had to deepen my voice. Like I didn't already have a full beard and mustache at 18. I had a goatee and a mustache. And I take my wristband off, I throw it in the garbage, and I go up to the bar. Yes, I would like 3 Miller Lights, please, because I'm an adult, and that's what I prefer to drink. I always had to make myself sound older than I actually was. Financial discipline, graduating from college, quitting smoking, and then the fourth hardest thing I think I've done in my adult life was you ever have somebody you just can't leave them alone? They're bad for you. They're so bad. It doesn't work out, but you just keep. I'm not the only one. You know the relationship is not going to work out. You don't have the same goals. You don't want the same things, but you keep trying, and you try to leave them. I'm not answering the phone when you call me. I'm going to block you. Do you know that when you block somebody, do iPhones do this too? When you block somebody, you still can see how many times they called you, and you still can read the text messages they sent you. Damn it, I hate it. Okay. Well, we figured out the wealth gap. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it is Denise Thomas from Truth Be Told with DT and Telly, and I am so excited for you to tune in to our monthly interview with Old National Bank. Old National Bank will be joining us to discuss why they are so committed to supporting women and people of color-owned businesses, while also discussing their Empowerment Loan Program, which can provide your business access to funds up to $5 million. So don't miss our Truth Be Told monthly interview with Old National Bank at 8 a.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
What if one day you went to your secret hiding place? You know, that spot that only you know about? And instead of what you came for, you found something a little different. What if instead of your private stash, you found a simple phone number, 1-800-662-HELP? What would you do? Would you stop and give it some thought? Would you make the call? The truth is, all drug use comes with risk. Before those risks become real, before drugs turn your life upside down, before drugs take their toll on you and your family, know that there is help. You can quit. If you or someone you love is struggling with drug use or prescription drug misuse, call 1-800-662-HELP for 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral. Or go to samhsa.gov/thereishelp.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Oh, well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome back to the program. I guess I should have did that a little bit better. I'm getting used to it, Rick.
No, you couldn't be a DJ. That was a horrible transition.
That was not horrible. Actually,
that was a slam.
All right, here. I need a word. I don't know what that song was. How about this song here? Let's see. What's a slam? A slam is when you slam.
You don't blend records together. You just slam them.
I like that 808 in the song.
Sir, this is not Jammin' 98.3 or
I could start
the Black Talk Radio.
but my energy doesn't matter.
Welcome back to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes.
Now it got real quiet.
Oh, look how we fading it down.
That's better.
Yeah. Over here talking about a whole bunch of stuff, trying to figure out the reasons why the wealth gap in the African American community has persisted for so long, even though we have made monumental progress. But then if I decide I want to bring the music back up, here's what I do. I bring it back up. Ooh, and then you just fade it down like that. See there? I could DJ. I just did DJing. I just DJ'd. DJ Sure Daddy Dog, DJ Sure Winner, DJ Sure Winnigan, DJ Hawk Tua. Nope, not that. Not that. All right, let's see what we got here. Tutu Reeves says Sherwin's sexual discipline can make and break you. I'm usually good with that unless a certain person comes around me wagging their little tail. I'm usually good with that because most of the time it ain't worth it. You know what I mean? It ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? But there's some, y'all know how it is. It's just some people that they're like kryptonite to you. Rick, I know you got a kryptonite. A woman that you know or used to know, if she calls you, you go running. You call into work, I bet. Hey, yeah, I'm not going to be into work today. I'm sick. You ain't sick. You shacking up with that gal. That's what you doing. All right. Gerardo says, Sherwin, I sent you a DM on Facebook Messenger for a DJ recommendation. So I didn't see it. Word to the wise, if you send me an inbox on Facebook, 98.995% chance I'll probably never see it. Because y'all need to understand something. So someone, like I'll do a whole radio show, right? And let's say I talk about, like what I discussed today, the wealth gap with African Americans. So somebody who did not listen to my show will find like a link somewhere, and they'll send it to me. Sherwin, did you know that there's a wealth gap between African Americans and white people? Or somebody will read something somewhere and decide, because it's interesting and fascinating to them, that they're going to send it to me. And there's some people that are so damn late with the news. I promise you, there's probably somebody sending me a link right now saying, Sherwin, did you know that Kamala Harris lost the presidential election? Did you know that? I bet you didn't. You should talk about this on your show in December. So I just have to ignore stuff. Oh my God, I get so much. And then there's people that just want to get interviewed because they feel that their life is interesting and fascinating and they want to tell their story to the world. And then there are the people that are wronged. I used to get a lot of men that want to come on the air and talk about how they got screwed over by the child support system and how they shouldn't have to pay child support. Sure, when I think that I should tell the story about how child support is unfair to the man. I was like, oh, okay, brother. Well, how many kids do you have? I have 7 children. Okay. How many different mothers? 12. Okay, so you got 7 kids by 12. Yes, I do. And because I am not able to travel and go on vacations because I got to pay so much child support, I find it to be very unfair and something. I'm a black man. Sherwin, can I come on your show and talk about how it is unfair that I have 7 children with 37 different baby mamas and how that's not fair and how that's racist?
I think that is so dumb.
It is dumb.
All those kids by multiple women, those are different personalities you are dealing with on a daily basis, sir.
But who do you blame, though? Right? Because if you know... But hold on now. Women are not innocent victims. If this dude has 4 kids already that you know he ain't taking care of, and how do you know, ladies? Because you know all his baby mamas. And you hump them anyway.
That man should have wore a condom. That's his fault.
The women's got to take some responsibility, too. If you know the dude ain't taking care of his other 65 children, but he's gonna marry her. No, he's not going to marry you. He's got 65 kids by 900 different women. There used to be who was the NBA player that had all them? Oh, was it Sean Kemp? That had like a double-digit number of kids. The number of kids he had was like a good statistic for a basketball game. He had a triple-double number of kids. Here, Gerardo, if you want a DJ, hire Ricky. When do you need a DJ, Gerardo? Ricky, can you do Gerardo wants to hire you and pay you $100 or whatever.
I don't do private events.
Why not?
I don't. Too much to do with.
Ricky, you mean to tell me if somebody wants to break you off a nice piece of change, you wouldn't do a private event for $1,000? Yeah.
The last time I did a private event was, I want to say about 6-7 years ago.
Really?
I only do radio and clubs.
So if women want to have a bachelorette party, and they want to, and they got a little hall rented, ain't gonna be too big, about 7,500 people, mostly women. And you know how women get at bachelorette parties, freaky deaky. Y'all can't see me. You wouldn't do it.
I'm not that easily influenced.
Yes, you are.
I am not. Been there, done that, did my whole phase, did all that already.
I bet if a certain little gal walked past you dragging a whole bunch of wagon behind her, yes, you would.
I'm telling you, I might be young, but I've been there, done it already, and I'm not easily impressed.
Man, you ain't that young now.
I'm 35, but I don't get easily influenced like that. Like it don't bother me now. I'm a DJ. I can have
what? You can have what?
Let me rephrase.
Exactly.
If I wanted to have sex with an attractive woman, it's not hard to. But I just don't care. Like I got priorities going on.
All right, pimpin'.
You know, I got kids. I got my job.
All right.
You know, I got a workload here.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
You know, so, you know, I got car notes. You know, I got bills. As I always say, a woman is an extra utility bill.
Ricky, you're not supposed to say that because you know there's a lot of women listening that will likely take offense to you calling them a utility bill.
I don't mean no offense in that manner, but I feel like the dating scene is just another bill. It's another expense.
Why can't she pay?
She can pay, but that's a whole different conversation because some women, oh, I want a man that leads.
Yeah, they don't know how to follow, though.
Yeah, they don't.
Or here's what's more common. I agree that a lot of women want a man to lead, to be assertive, to be decisive, but not be pushy, you know, to be a stand-up guy that takes control and takes charge, because a lot of times women have to take control and they got to take charge, and that can be very exhausting for women, especially if they're taking care of kids and a whole household. They may want somebody to come in and kind of take some of that burden off of their shoulders. I get it, but here's the problem. Now, this is not universal, and I'm sure some of y'all are already getting yourselves amped up to complain about what I'm about to say. Some women don't want to give up control of their lives. And somebody coming in, even if it's a man that she says she wants to lead, there's no leaders. I want a man to come and, you know, be a leader and help me with all these things, and I'll take direction from him. No, you won't. You want him to lead the way you want him to lead, not the way he naturally does. Because he may have his idea of leading and making decisions, but if the woman doesn't like the way he's leading and making decisions, she'll complain about that too. And fellas, if you're in that situation, leave her. Leave her. She is destined to be by herself, and there's nothing wrong with being by yourself. Because if you are the kind of person that another human being can't tolerate, then it's cool being alone. Instead of going through person after person after person and then blaming them, once you on your third marriage, we gotta sit you down. You know what I mean? We need to have a talk and just see like what's going on while you're on your third marriage. Uh-oh. Not really, a city girl says, unless it's that Scorpio woman. That's not important right now. How do y'all even remember all the stuff that I say? How do you guys remember that? Don't worry about that. Y'all need to. LaRon Taylor says, how did you quit smoking when you drink? How did I quit smoking? I quit twice. Once I quit, so I started smoking when I was a senior in high school. So right after football season, I allowed myself to be influenced by the bad influences, because when I was, my other 4 years that I was in high school, I was a dedicated athlete. But once football was done, started smoking. So that was 93, I started smoking. And the dude that gave me my first cigarette, he quit. And when I found out he quit, I felt stupid. I'm like, oh, you got me smoking, and now you're smoke-free. So then I quit cold turkey. This was in about 2000. And I stayed smoke-free until, God, when did I start smoking again? Maybe like 2010. And that's what's crazy about smoking cigarettes.
Smoking that Newport.
I smoked everything. Menthol was never my favorite, but I did smoke Newport Kings, Newport 100s, Marlboro menthols, menthol lights, Camel menthols, what's Marlboros. I smoked all of them. I smoked whatever I got my hands on.
You didn't care as long as it blew smoke, huh?
And then Benson and Hedges, sometimes, no, they don't do this anymore.
Benson and Hedges?
They would send you free packs of cigarettes in the mail. Like you go somewhere and fill something out, like a smoker survey, and it would send you packs of cigarettes in the mail. So I'd smoke damn near anything.
And that's like from the 60s. Ain't that what like pimps used to smoke?
Exactly. You name it, I smoked it. So I was quit for 10 years. And then I got stressed out one day and went and bought a pack of cigarettes in 2010 and started smoking again like I never stopped. That's the crazy thing. Like now, I don't mind cigarette smoke. I mean, it's gross, but because I smoked for so long, when you're addicted, you're addicted. So I don't really mind it, because I remember what it's like. So I started smoking again in 2010, and then I think I smoked for another 2 years and quit probably right around early 2012, late 2011, and then I've been smoke-free ever since. Every now and again, I'll have a dream that I'll go to the gas station and buy a pack of cigarettes. Craziest thing ever. Like a couple times a year, I'll have a dream that I just walk to the gas station, buy a pack of cigarettes, and start smoking again. But yeah, quitting smoking was the second time. It was hard. It took in the 2 years that I was smoking when I started again. Like once I bought that first pack in 2010, it might have been before that, maybe 2009. Yeah, because I think I was working for Lean at the time. I wanted to quit after my second pack of cigarettes when I started smoking again in 2009. And it's just, I couldn't. Had to have it. I got to take a break. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer. Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning, the cap is loose on that ketchup.
Ugh. Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 101.7 The Truth. Here is Telly Hughes with his truth.
I want to stress the importance of a positive mindset. Everything begins as a thought before it ever becomes an action. So it's extremely important to purposely place yourself in positive spaces to help shape and nurture those thoughts. I know you're probably thinking, okay, Telly, let's be realistic. Look, I get it. You may work with people with bad energy, or you may even be related to people who are negative by nature. In this journey called life, there will be many things that come your way that's out of your control. But what you can control is how you respond. Understand this. You have the right to either tap in or tap out of whatever energy that may come your way. And that's how you can control and protect your positive spaces. The mind is where it all starts. And if your thoughts are centered around positivity, you'll see how things begin to transform. You will see a noticeable difference between things happening for you versus things always happening to you. You begin to grow through situations as opposed to just going through tough situations. Make it a priority to surround yourself with positive people and create those positive spaces and begin to experience the fruits of what a positive mindset can produce. Trust me. It takes work to creating these spaces, and you have to be intentional about it. And I'm committed to putting in the work because I'm living proof that it's well worth the peace a positive mindset brings.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 101.7 The Truth. Listen to Truth Be Told with Telly weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The world can be a lonely place when you're just an a trace and be gone.
And I've been jamming like this since I said.
Welcome back to the program. Let's go to line one and talk to, one of my absolute favorites, Mr. Eastside Corey. You're on 101.7 The Truth.
One of your favorites. Well, how about that? Happy Monday, Sherwin.
Even though you got a little feisty, you got a little sassy.
Didn't I?
When I was talking about Elsa's.
Twice last week I got hot.
Got a little sassy.
I need to mind my own business. I need to stay off the social networking stuff.
Listen,
oh my goodness.
I know Carl Kopp as well. He is the sweetest man ever. His girlfriend Mary, that's a separate conversation, but Carl is a wonderful man. But I don't blame him nor any other business owner in this town that wants to keep a certain element out of their establishment. And I don't consider that racist. If you don't want an uncouth, disrespectful, loud, boisterous, don't leave a tip, fighting and shooting in my restaurant, I'll change everything I have to so that I can still provide good food and good service to my die-hard, loyal customers and patrons. And Carl is doing exactly that, and he's supposed to.
Yes, sir. Well, I was shocked when I saw the actual recording of the fight. In fact, I looked at it for 2 seconds and I turned it off. I didn't want to put that in my head. But
are you talking about the fight video that I posted?
Yeah.
Corey, there's 10 of those. You just saw
Are you
one.
kidding me?
Corey, how in the hell? See, this tells me that you don't go to Elsa's.
No idea.
You don't go to Elsa's as often as you say you do. You say you and your guy, y'all go for New Year's Eve. Try going on a random Saturday in the summer, and you'll see something that will make you very upset.
Oh my goodness. Well, I was just trying to understand your point of view because I know that, the story of, the past with the word exchange that was like 15 years ago, and then
I talked to Mary
2 years ago.
I got Mary's side of the story on that,
and did that because I know you knew one of the ladies that had the situation.
I knew them both. I went to high school with both of them.
Yeah,
and Mary described
so,
it essentially as it happened. And Mary had shown frustration with this element of patrons, a younger element coming into Elsa's, being loud, being boisterous, being, dare I say the word, ghetto. And of course, Mary was drunk as hell. She confronted these women, but did so in a way that wasn't exactly respectful nor tactful. And Mary did bring race into it, but sometimes race is a part of it. Now, as a white woman, she wasn't supposed to say what she said, but
I know, right? But she said what everybody was thinking. Well, I shouldn't say everybody, but I didn't know it had gotten that rowdy and that bad.
There was a shooting in there, last fall.
2 years ago. Yeah. Yep. We went by there. The week after that, but here's the thing. My question is, how do we as adults manage other grown folks? Do we stay out of it or do we say something? I'm thinking about, even to the extent of this trial going on in New York for the white guy that on the subway. I don't know if the jury came back with their final decision. He stepped in and there was a threatening situation. This guy was had some black man had some mental issues and was threatening people on the train. Okay, but anyway, and Black Lives Matter stepped out, and the family stepped out this weekend and had a few choice words for the situation. And I don't know. I don't think everything is racist. I think it comes down to age and class and just, I don't know. It's complicated, but I don't know how do we keep, how do we as other adults influence the people that are, especially young 20-something, 30-something that, maybe don't understand how you're supposed to carry yourself in a certain social situation. I mean, if you ain't got no home training, I guess it's not going to start or end there. But
there's nothing we can do.
If they're fighting,
to make a long story short, no. If there are some people that are at, because there's some places you can go in the city where you can make all the damn noise you want to. You can yell, scream, hoot, and holler because that's a part of what that environment is. But there's some places that are sophisticated and classy and quiet. And even though you don't have to, when I go to certain restaurants, I talk with a whisper. I just do, because that is the element that I am in. If there are people that do not understand that and they bring their loud, boisterous, obnoxious selves into a place that people speak with a whisper, there is nothing that you can do as a whisperer that will tell that person how they're supposed to act. And I would caution against saying something to that person because they'll shoot you. I'd rather just never go back to that restaurant ever again. Because there's always going to be a place where I can go, where I can talk with a whisper, and it's classy and quiet and sophisticated. So I don't go to places where that element exists, or if I do go to places where that element might exist, I go before they get there. Because that element don't even wake up till 10 o'clock. As long because now if I go out, I'm gonna step out. Right, my friends get off work at 5 o'clock. I meet my friends. We get us a little food, have us a little couple drinks. I'm home and in the bed at 7 o'clock. I ain't trying to be out there in the damn streets all night. Ain't nothing open that late but legs.
Well, nothing good happens after midnight. They say.
Exactly.
But I just don't understand. What are people? What is the problem? Why do people? Why would the fight that I saw, come to that? Especially, it bothers me especially if it's two African American females and they go right for their hair and go for their. It's just I don't understand what's happening there.
Women fight way more than men. It's usually over a guy over something stupid or somebody got disrespected, but women fight more than men. Men will shoot, but they'll shoot less often than women fight. So they had a real big formal event at the Baird Center where VIP tables were $600 and individual tickets were $125. And this was just a couple of weekends ago. They were fighting at that event.
Was this a black and white?
It was an all-black formal. No, it wasn't a black and white ball. But it was an all-black formal event where people put on their best. They put on a tuxedo. Yeah. And these women was on the ground fighting, and one of them wasn't wearing no panties. And they got the video of her fighting, and it was coochie everywhere. Coochie and butt cheeks.
I heard y'all talking about that last week, and I was like, how does that happen? Don't people understand where they are? Aren't you
they don't care.
We take it outside.
They do this thing called on-site. If I have a problem with somebody, it doesn't matter where I see them. I'm going to engage them, quote-unquote, on-site. I don't care if they're in Elsa's. I don't care if they're at a formal $600 a table event. I'm going to get them on-site, and that's just it's ruthless, it's disrespectful, and it's classless. But, Corey, I got to go now. We just talked about
Okay, man.
segment.
I appreciate you.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
I appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Corey didn't know they was fighting at Elsa's. Well, the video's on the internet for the world to see. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's Dr. Ken Harris, and you can watch me now live on YouTube every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m., and you can watch the best radio show in Wisconsin by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Watch me explore the issues which are shaping our community while also having fun discussions, pop culture, current events, all kind of stuff going on right here on YouTube right now by subscribing to 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk is now streaming live on YouTube.
It's that time. Thursday, December 19th, the Wisconsin Black Chamber is adding value to someone's business with $10,000, $7,000, or $3,000. Thursday, December 19th at the Deco, 7140 West Greenfield Avenue, 5 to 9 p.m. We're celebrating our third annual Black and Diverse Gala featuring the pitch finale. Of course, there'll be great food. This year, we highlight Tons of Love Catering, Lily Bell's Catering and Fine Dining, and Dream Foods. And we don't stop there. Deshay AG will be performing. The Black Winemaker Chicago Day Trip participants are hosting a wine tasting. There's life-changing networking opportunities, games, prizes, raffles, giveaways, and DJ L Boogie making your body move. And of course, there's vendors ready to help you get your last-minute shopping done while you party. We take pride in doing the most. We work hard all year, and we plan to celebrate with that same energy. It's all love. Thursday, December 19th, 5 to 9 at the Deco. Tickets are on sale now. Visit twbcc.com so you don't miss out on what we have going on. twbcc.com.
At We Energies, we're committed to building a bright, sustainable energy future. We're investing in clean energy projects like solar, wind, and battery storage. As a leader in the decarbonization effort, our goal is to achieve net zero carbon emissions from our generation fleet by 2050. It's part of our plan to provide the affordable, reliable, and clean energy you depend on. Learn more at weenergies.com.
We Energies. People you can trust, energy you can depend on. This message was paid for by the stockholders of WEC Energy Group.
Okay, Fred, so I got some questions.
What's up?
Where should I go if I want to start my own business?
You go to EerieInsurance.com.
Okay, Fred, so where should I go if my kid needs an internship? Or if I need a job, where do I go?
You go to EerieInsurance.com.
Okay, so what if I want to work for a company that believes in diversity, has great benefits, and growth for people like us?
You already know. It's EerieInsurance.com.
Man, so Fred, I just need to go to Erie Insurance?
Go to EerieInsurance.com for all that you need.
It's amazing!
My name is Adrienne, and I was hurt in a car accident. What Gruber Law Office has done for me was made me feel safe. It didn't cost me anything, just one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, we have big news. Mark your calendars for Friday, February 28th, as we'll be hosting our first annual Truth Community Awards, celebrating individuals making a real difference in our community. We will honor the excellence in our community and recognize the quiet warriors creating extraordinary impact. Tickets go on sale soon, so you don't want to miss this night of inspiration and celebration. Come celebrate with us on Friday, February 28th at the Truth Community Awards presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. And also, you guys you should stay tuned because we're going to give you a shot at becoming rich. $5,000 Gruber giveaway. Going to do that in just a few minutes. Truth Nation, we have teamed up with Associated Bank for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, we'll give away $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising for 3 months to 5 Black businesses. Visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That is blackbusinessgiveback.com to sign up today. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure on 1017 The Truth. For official contest rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC. Rick, I like playing my own music. I discovered some new artists, and the new artist that I have been featuring today, since I've been playing my own bump music, her name is Ruby, and that song was called Jealousy. All right then, now. So we figured out Black wealth disparity. You're not going to be able to make it up through cryptocurrency. Armour wants to know, how do you identify that element before they open their mouth? That's an age-old question, Armour. You can tell. You can tell. And you know that you can tell. There is a cultural appearance. Now, I know you're not supposed to judge people by how they look, but guess what? We judge people by how they look. Sorry. Let me give you an example. Let's say somebody is in need of a medical emergency. Right here at the 3rd Street Market Hall. They're in need of a medical emergency. They collapse. Boom, they fall on the floor. And I am dressed on that particular day like an EMT. I am dressed like an emergency medical technician. I can wear whatever I want. You can't tell me what I can and cannot wear. I'll dress however I want to dress. If I want to dress like an EMT, I'll dress like an EMT, and you won't say nothing about it, because if you talk to somebody about how they dress, we'll prepare to be very much offended. People can wear whatever they want to wear. And so I'm here in the 3rd Street Market Hall, and I'm dressed like an EMT, and somebody falls out right in front of me, and I step over them. And all the people look at me and say, hey, you're dressed like an EMT. You're an EMT. You need to help that person. And I can very easily say to all of those people as I step over the person who just passed out, how dare you judge me by what I'm wearing? I am not an EMT at all. However, I reserve the right to dress like one. When you put on your clothes, you are telling the world how you want to be perceived. Or you are telling the world how you feel about yourself. You are telling the world how you feel at that moment. You are presenting yourself to the world. And you can tell, because some people, y'all know these people, they dress up everywhere they go. Then there's some people that don't care what they wear. I went to Woodman's yesterday. The amount of Crocs and pajama pants I saw at Woodman's, you don't do that. Don't do that. And maybe I'm from the old school. Maybe I grew up different than y'all. You don't leave the house like that. I'll barely even go out of my yard. Well, no, I take that back. I've gone in my yard in my underwear before. That's different. I reserve the right to do whatever I want to do in my yard, but I wouldn't go in public. Truth Nation, now's your chance to be our one call. That's all. Gruber $5,000 giveaway entry for the day. Yes, you can be entered to win $5,000 courtesy of Gruber Law Offices. We'll take caller number 7 right now at 833-212-1017. Call number 7 at 833-212-1017. You'll be entered to win the $5,000 giveaway from Gruber. Again, caller number 7. Remember, if your loved one has been injured in an accident, contact Gruber Law Offices today. Visit them at gruber-law.com for official contest rules. Visit 1017 The Truth. Jammin' with Juice is up next.
One call, that's all.
Truth Nation, we have big news. Mark your calendars for Friday, February 28th, as we will be hosting our first annual Truth Community Awards, celebrating individuals making a real difference in our community. This can't-miss event will honor the excellence in our community and